That little notch and that.
All right, welcome everyone to the Pickens County Board of County Commissioners regular voting session on Wednesday, September 10th. We have the great delight, as we love to do, of reading a proclamation at the start of our hour, recognizing Pickens County's co-responders and crisis responder teams. And I will invite our commissioners to come stand over here in the corner. We can all gather together, and anyone, the sheriff and your team who'd like to come up and join us as we honor you all.
We have some partners from Aspen here too.
Command.
It's a command, not a request.
Uh-oh, look what she's bringing you, Greg.
Pardon.
Oh, you need a mic.
Greg, could you move the mic? Thank you.
You want, I'm not just closing a little bit.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you. All right.
Francie, will you please join us?
Hi.
Oh.
So sorry.
I know, that's right. I feel a
On
little
another
shot out of a rocket today, too.
Totally on another planet.
Okay.
Likewise, me too.
Okay,
We're all
well,
right.
ordinarily this
We're all
is
here
in a
because we're not
nicely
all there.
framed plaque, but we've had so many nice things to say about you all that it's a 2-page proclamation. So I'll hand it over to you in this.
Oh, I don't have my names.
Okay, whereas Pickens County is committed to providing support for those facing behavioral health challenges in our community, and whereas behavioral health describes the emotions and behaviors that affect an individual's overall well-being, including mental health disorders and substance use, and whereas the National Institute of Mental Health estimates that more than 1 in 5 U.S. adults live with a mental health illness, and whereas the widespread opioid use continues to grow across the nation, our state, and here in Pickens County, with over 80,000 overdose deaths occurring nationally in 2023, and whereas behavioral health conditions may lead to homelessness, criminal charges, and arrests, and have a serious impact on our communities. And whereas the many issues created by mental health, mental illness, substance use, and addiction are community problems, but the burden of their solution must not be shouldered solely by law enforcement, fire service, and emergency medical services staff. And whereas many communities have turned to the evidence-based and proven effective programs called co-responder programs, and whereas the co-responder model pairs law enforcement and behavioral health professionals to intervene and respond to behavioral health-related emergencies, And whereas these programs utilize the combined expertise of law enforcement and behavioral health professionals to de-escalate situations and help link individuals experiencing behavioral health issues to appropriate resources in their communities, including counseling, access to medication, access to housing, food, basic necessities, and other similar resources. And whereas Pitkin County Public Health has had a co-responder program comprised of a mental health field team, the Pitkin County Sheriff's Office, Aspen Police Department, and Snowmass Village Police Department since 2019. And whereas this program has responded to emergency and non-emergency calls for service, provided crisis intervention, conducted important follow-up conversations, developed safety plans, and assisted people in getting connected with the resources they need for healthier living, including access to behavioral health and other community resource services. And whereas these first responders and behavioral health professionals have shown exceptional commitment, dedication, leadership, and passion to help those in need, reinforcing how vital their work is to the communities of Pitkin County. Now therefore, we, the Board of County Commissioners for Pitkin County, do hereby proclaim the week of September 14th through September 20th, 2025 as Pitkin County Co-Responders and Crisis Clinicians Week, along with the Colorado Co-Responder Alliance and the International Co-Responder Alliance. And we wish to express our appreciation and gratitude for the co-responders and behavioral health clinicians working in Pitkin County who routinely respond to crisis situations, sometimes putting themselves in harm's way to ensure the best possible outcomes for the community. We call upon Pitkin County residents to recognize, honor, and give thanks to these amazing professionals for their daily service throughout the great work they do to assist those in need.
Thank you,
All right,
guys.
send you guys. Invite Raleigh and the sheriff, if you wish, to make any statements, or our colleagues.
I'll just say that the co-responder program, along with the crisis and I'll say grief that we also deal with, it's just so valuable to the officers and deputies in Pitkin County. You know, we're trained to de-escalate and do all that kind of stuff, but having a packed person there, a co-responder there, and then all the people behind the curtain with the case management and everything else that they do is just so valuable to all of us in uniform and then the community as well. We're on the side of the road on a fatal crash, to be brutally honest here, and we're dealing with this, and there's family members here. You know, we're torn, right? We have to deal, and crisis people come, and it's a perfect fit, perfect match. So thank you, co-responders and crisis folks.
Thank
Raleigh?
you, guys.
I'll just add endless thanks to our commissioners and our community members for the endless support that you provide our programs here throughout the valley. And endless thanks to our team that are boots on the ground doing the work. You all are amazing, and I hope you are able to reflect not only during the week of National Co-Responder and Crisis Responder Week, but every day just how vital you are to our community. So thank you all. And I know not everyone could join, but
Aren't we bringing somebody new on? Weren't we just talking about that yesterday?
we are hiring for the second clinician position. So if anyone
That's
knows
great.
anyone and would like to apply, the job is open. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Oh, look, I get first pick.
Almost empty room.
The hats. The presentation of the hats. Give Anne Marie gets one, doesn't she? I've got a couple already. She can have one of mine. Sure.
Which one? I'm taking them. This is my new color for the
Okay.
winter.
That's a good one.
Moving on to our regular agenda, County Manager John Peacock, do we have any additions or deletions to today's agenda?
I think I gave him a blue one.
There are no additions or deletions. We did, that I think would need to be approved by the board, but we did carry over a couple of items into open discussion from yesterday, which is the Healthy Rivers and Streams appointment and then Transportation Coalition update.
Great, and I have
Our
those
report.
noted.
John reported to us.
Can I ask John a question? John, I'm going to verify again with you. I've already run it by Anne Marie. I will be recusing from the last item on the agenda. I will not be here for the appointment, but I've given Kelly my choices. And since it's not an official action, it's a direction, we won't have a quorum in the room. We might be able to get Jeffrey on the phone.
Yeah, it's a good clarification, Patty. So this is not an item that's posted for a vote by the board.
comes back to us.
Yeah, what would happen here is staff is getting direction to prepare a resolution that would come back to the board and go through a formal
Okay,
process.
so we're good.
Yep.
Okay, great, thank you. Just want to make sure that you knew, actually, because we were already sure.
I can ask Anne Marie too.
I checked with her to make sure you were right.
So there's only going to be 2 commissioners here for that?
Jeffrey will probably, we just think Jeffrey might call in since he hasn't talked to Kelly.
We'll give him a call.
It'll be fine.
Okay.
Okay. If there are no additions and deletions to the agenda, I will move us to public comment. This is for items that are not listed for public hearing on today's agenda. We welcome members of the public either online or in person to address the board. You'll have 3 minutes, and we don't generally engage in dialogue in public comment, but we'll do our best to follow up. Is there anyone here in the room? Come on up.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
I have my handout for everyone. Thanks. Thanks for having us this morning. My name is Steve Novi. I'm a local architect, a cyclist, and a member of the Carbondale Bike Project Advisory Board. I guess you can see that over there. I'm here with Kevin White. Kevin is our assistant shop manager. Carbondale Bike Project is a community bicycle shop, and it's different than other bike shops. We do a lot to serve our community. Our mission is that we promote individual, community, and environmental health through a sustainable, safe, and educational community bike shop, offering affordable cycling solutions, education, and support for transportation and environmental needs. And we're at a point in our existence where we, as an all-volunteer organization, are kind of outgrowing that, and we've been growing a lot of different programs that we have. We do all sorts of educational work. We provide helmets to people for free. We have a program called Helmet for Every Head. We provide workforce training for people to learn how to become bike shop mechanics. And one of the more important things that we do is we keep a lot of bikes out of the landfill. So we get bikes back on the road. In addition to that, we provide bicycles for people to use to get back and forth to transit stations. A lot of town bikes come from Carbondale Bike Project, and these are bikes that people own, and they have maybe purchased them for $100 or $200, or maybe in a very extreme case, $300 or $400. They're very inexpensive bikes, and so these are the ones that you'll see at the Park and Ride. And so we're here today to talk about what we're doing and to introduce ourselves, and then hopefully we can follow up with some opportunities, if there are any, for collaboration and working together. We do a lot of bike donation events, and we're trying to ramp that up. We are working on our revenue streams, trying to build more revenue. One of our main goals is to get a half-time shop manager position paid. So we're trying to get over the hump from being all volunteer to having a half-time person on staff, so that we can not have people like Kevin burn out, because it's a lot to ask somebody to do what he does. So that's a super brief introduction, and we've got some handouts here along with a budget that just is through this year, and that'll show you kind of the majority of what a year looks like for us, because we've already been through the main part of our season when we get bikes in and so forth. So Kevin, would you like to say a few words? Yeah, Kevin's got a great perspective because he's in the shop every day.
I'm kind of new to the program. I've been there just this summer, and I find it a very rewarding experience. We have people from all walks of life come into the shop with various needs, and we get them back on the road. And mostly an education thing. We help the people work on their own bikes and kind of empowers them and makes them more confident in doing their own repairs. It's a rewarding situation.
Yeah, and you brought in a front derailleur, right? So if your bike has a front derailleur, there's no place you can get that repaired in the valley or in the state for that matter, because bikes don't come with front derailleurs anymore. So we take care of that. And we're not the kind of place where you're going to come in and just drop your bike off. You've got to be involved in this. It's a way to come in and learn how to repair your own bike. And we'll walk you through the steps, we'll help you out, but you don't just drop your bike off and say, I'll be back to pick it up. I'm also on the board of CLEAR. I've been on the board of CLEAR for about 15 years, and I learned that, you know, in the same way that WeCycle provides an important solution to one of our transportation demand management strategies, we also do that in providing these town bikes to people. So we feel like we have a very important place in the community, and we would like to, again, work with you on whatever level makes sense, either to collaborate on different projects or to look into grant funding or other options in order to help our financial position and help us get to this half-time coordinator position. But today we just wanted to come in and introduce ourselves and let you know that we're out there and we're reaching out to all the local municipalities. We've gotten a lot of support from the town of Carbondale and some other people, but we're going to kind of make a big push to just let everybody know what we're doing and that we'd like to keep doing it for a long time.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming today.
Great.
Nice to
Thank
meet
you all.
Thank you.
Good to meet
Thanks.
you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, not at all.
Where-
Good to
where
see
are
you all.
Located in Carbondale?
We're over at the 3rd Street Center.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and 3rd Street Center, of course, is a nonprofit that has supported us. They give us an amazing rent price. And, yeah, we wouldn't be there if it wasn't for
I
the
have kids
existing.
and grandkids, just not far from there. I'll have to swing by.
You'll have to come by. Yeah, let me know. I'll meet you over there.
I'll check it out. Okay, thank you guys.
Okay, thank you.
I love what you guys do, it's really great.
Thank you.
Well, Steve, last thing, if you could very briefly just describe your working relationship with WeCycle and RAFTA.
Oh, sure. Well, we've gotten a lot of advice from Mirta at WeCycle because I know her from way back. And so I've talked to her on a number of different occasions, and she's given us advice as to how we can do things to kind of help ourselves. We've tried to work together. We haven't found an exact way to get this particular problem solved between the two of us. We've thought about like a job share position between the two organizations, but we haven't really gotten to that fully worked out. And then on the side of RAFTA, they've been a big supporter, and we are going to be talking to them very soon about ramping up kind of our interactions and collaboration, because they provide us a yard down in Carbondale where we have 300 bikes currently
300 bikes.
that are being kept out of the landfill, and they've been a big supporter. We really appreciate everything they do. And of course, you know, everything they do on the trails as well, which is another important aspect. But yeah, we will be reaching out to RAFTA as well, and we see them as a very strong partner in this.
Great.
And again, being
Appreciate it.
part of the TDM process, right, the first and last mile to transit, I think that RAFTA really gets that. Again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming up.
All right.
Okay, any other public comment here in the room or online? You with a wish to raise your hand? Don't know what Claire is here for. Okay, well, seeing no other interest, I will close public comment and bring it back to commissioners.
No comments today for me.
I have asked Kelly to say a few words as chairman about Tommy Isaacs. But before that, it's going to be hard for me. Today is the 40th birthday, would have been for Casey Piscura, our sustainable farmer who took his life in January. And ironically, today is World Suicide Prevention Day. It's changing the narrative on suicide. I just talked with his parents this morning and his sister. They are missing, as we all are, Casey. So I just wanted people to know today is a day to really start thinking about friends and family in need, reaching out, offering a warm, safe hug or just a conversation to people that you know might be troubled, or just people you know and love. Casey kind of took us all by surprise, but that happens, and you wish it didn't. So, again, worldwide, it's actually World Suicide Prevention Day. This is Suicide Prevention and Awareness Month. So please keep all of those you've lost, or friends in need, or just people in mind as we move forward and try and reach out to others. Thank you. Oh, and on another note, Harvest Dinner is September 20th at Sunfire Ranch. It's a celebration of the harvest season. It's $35 for adults, all you can eat food, drink, live music, tour of Seed Peace or Wild Mountain Seeds, and you can reach it on the Seed Peace website. Children under 12 and under are free. Children above 12 are $15. It's a great place to go visit and hang out, wander through the gardens. It's amazing. And following that, I think it's the middle. Francie, do you know the exact date for Potato Days? I should actually, I think I have it.
October 4th.
Yeah, Potato Days is coming up. It's a $20 ticket for their meal that they have. It's a farm-to-table meal. It's at Sopers Park in Carbondale. So again, it is it's the 116th year for Colorado's longest-running agricultural celebration. First time in history, Potato Days is introducing a community impact fund, and Seed Peace, Casey's fund supporting farmers, will receive a donation of all the profits for this year's Potato Days celebration. And the Seed Peace, Casey's fund supporting farmers, is going to provide a voucher program for farmers and ranchers for mental health, physical health, dental health, vision, family emergencies, chiropractic. As we know, our farmers and ranchers work very hard, day in and day out. They work hard for a few dollars, and they need our support because we in Pickens County truly believe in sustaining, and in the Roaring Fork Valley, sustaining our local agriculture organizations and operations. So Potato Days should be great fun, and it's got a good contribution to a great organization. So thank you.
Thank you, Patty. And I would just add to that a little bit that we do have many resources here in the community. We acknowledged some earlier today.
Yes.
We have the Hope Center, Aspen Hope Center, and Headquarters are two organizations that provide support for individuals in mental health crisis and response.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you. And I do believe 988 still exists as a resource currently.
Last we checked.
As we checked. Yeah, and I would like to take a moment just on behalf of the board and by extension of Pickens County to acknowledge and remember Tommy Isaac, who was our very long time elected assessor who recently passed away last week. I learned that Tommy was not only our assessor for 7 terms, I think is what it was also an Aspen City Council person, and, you know, a longstanding member of our community and will be missed. You know, Tommy had experienced a debilitating accident in his life and was in a wheelchair for much of his adult life, and so he's requested donations be sent in his honor to Challenge Aspen and Bridging Bionics organizations, if anyone wishes to make a direct memory of him. Thank you.
And you know what else I learned about Tommy? I've known Tommy for 40 years maybe, was that he was instrumental in Washington, D.C. in passing the American Disabilities Act. He was also very instrumental as a voting delegate to the Democratic Party conventions. I think he went 3 times. The side of Tommy I wasn't really aware of. I knew of all his contributions here locally, but on a national level. And he was before his injury, an avid biker skier, and he was injured in a either a body surfing or surfing accident in Cancun many, many years ago. And good friend of a lot of the old-time locals, Griff Smith, used to make sure that he got Tommy out on the mountain a couple times a year in his little sled up there. And I think Griff had a hard time keeping up with him most of the time because he was your neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Griff lives right next door to you guys, doesn't he? Yeah. So good long-time locals. So, yeah, Tommy lived a good life. So even with all his disabilities, he was still Tommy Isaac.
Thank you. Is there other commissioner comments today? Nope. Okay. We'll move on to our consent agenda, which are the board minutes for our meetings on August 26th and August 27th. Does anyone wish to pull either of those?
I'll move to
items?
approve.
Thank you, Patty.
Second.
Thank you, Francie. All in favor, please say aye.
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 I'm
And I will-
delighted to approve the thing for Mr. Nasser.
Well, we'll move on to that.
Part of this?
No, we pulled it as a one read.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I
yes.
should abstain. Since I wasn't here when those minutes were recorded. You've approved them, but you don't have my vote because I
Okay.
just
Thank you
not
for
engaging.
that. And I'll note that Jeffrey Woodruff has a training today, so he is not able to join us for this meeting. Okay, moving on then to our individual consideration items. One reading says the board is going to sit as the Board of Equalization. We heard the senior property tax homestead exemption appeal that was submitted by Mr. Nasser at our last meeting and directed staff to come back with a resolution for us, or I don't know what we call that, approval of that appeal.
Hi, Commissioner Sam Ingen, County Administration. You heard this back on August 27th, and basically the resolution is just documenting those findings, and I'll read those aloud for you. The petitioner has owned the property in Pickens County since 1957. The petitioner has met the qualifications for the senior property tax exemption for many years prior to receiving the exemption, and the board also wanted to note that the future of the statewide senior property tax exemption program is subject to a statewide vote in 2026. So recognizing those findings, you all sitting as the Board of Equalization desires to grant relief by awarding a senior property tax credit in the amount of $250 for the tax years 25 and 2026.
Excellent, thank you, Sam. Any discussion?
Once again, I wasn't here for that presentation, so I probably will abstain from voting.
Okay.
It was great to meet Mr. Nasser.
He was a character.
Yeah, it was really great. And, if there's no discussion, I would make a motion to approve the exemption appeal submitted by Mr. Nasser.
I will second.
Thank you, Francie. Thank you, Patty. I want to clarify that we don't need to hold a public hearing for this.
That's correct.
Okay. Thanks, Karen. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That is a vote 3-0. Greg is abstaining. Thank you, Greg, for letting us know. Thanks, Sam. Our next our next item is a public hearing and one reading of the BOCC. We are going to be acting as the Pickens County Local Liquor Licensing Authority to hear an application for a special event liquor permit submitted by the Aspen Flight Academy. And I have to make a quick phone call before 1 o'clock that I didn't have a chance to do earlier, and I don't think this will be contentious. So I'm going to turn chairing over to Greg, please, for this item, and I will be back shortly.
Okay.
Okay, great, thanks. Sam, welcome.
Sam again.
Hi, Sam.
I'm here with Alex from EKS Events. She's representing the Aspen Flight Academy, but they have applied for a special event liquor license permit for October 3rd from 5:30 to 10 p.m. And this is the third year of the event, and it's held at 69 Airport Road, which is the Atlantic Aviation hangar out at the airport. So they have applied for this permit. It's coming in front of you for approval today. Public notice was posted on the property, and then they've also communicated with community development for a special events permit through their office as well. So questions from me, otherwise I'll open it up to Alex to just speak about the event a little bit more and give you some more details as it's upcoming and it's open to the public.
Questions, Patty? Francie.
Oh.
My question would just be, this is third year, is that right? How'd it go last couple of years, Sam? Any feedback that we should know about?
We haven't received any public complaints about the event, some positive notes, which is always good to hear. You guys weren't involved the first 2 years, is that correct?
We were last year.
Last year, okay. So, yeah.
Track record, you guys will do great.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Doesn't seem to be any questions.
Do you want to speak on the event and promote it a little
Well,
bit?
Yeah,
the ticket
absolutely.
information for the public.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You can purchase tickets online at the the Aspen Flight Academy website. The purpose of the event is really to support the Aspen Flight Academy and the work they do with the public high school here in their Every Student Flies program. So they provide scholarships, training. It's a potential elective for all high school students to get involved with a certified trainer, do flight simulations, support further education after high school through these scholarships that are funded largely by the gala every year, which allows students to pursue flying. One of the big dreams, just speaking to the Aspen Flight Academy team, was really inspiring. They want to be sure that financial means never hinder an individual or a student from pursuing a career in flying or engineering, any of the kind of related flying fields, but mainly for piloting. So they have certified pilots and planes that are stored at the Aspen Airport, and so this will be an event that's open to the public. It'll feature some of their planes. Students will be coming as well with their simulators. So yeah, it's a really great event. I'm looking forward to being a part of it, and I really appreciate your time.
Great.
I have a
Francie?
question for her.
Sure.
Do you have programs to help people who've graduated from high school? Like, I have an employee who is studying how to work in backup for flying, but I would think she would love to become a pilot, but she has graduated from high school, so are there any scholarships or anything available to people like that?
I believe so. I can't speak definitely on scholarships. I know that they have flight training that's at the Aspen Airport, so they have certified trainers that can take people of all ages. Part of their mission is that young adults, not exclusive of folks that aren't students, can learn to fly. So I believe that there are scholarships that are
Okay,
available
great.
to older people.
I'll give
but
them a call.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Great. Any questions? Do you have any questions?
No, I
Before-
don't.
Before I cede the gavel back to you?
I don't have any questions. They've had success in prior years, and I'm happy to support them.
So what again is the website for tickets?
It's Aspen Flight Academy. I believe it's aspenflightacademy.com. It's when you search it, if you search it in a search engine like Google, it's the first thing that pops up. It's called
Okay,
the
great.
annual gala.
We like we like to allow you to have a little public service time and public information time here, so thank you.
Thank you.
Great.
Alex, I was just going to say, this is out of your wheelhouse because you're doing the events. You're not part of the Flight Academy, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. I just saw that the very first human-controlled, it's not an autonomous aircraft, but like a drone that people can fly, was delivered, the very first one, to a Silicon Valley guy in Silicon Valley last week. And so they finally hit the market where there's actually something where you can get in and fly this thing, vertical takeoff and land, control it. I just can't, I honestly, I can't wait to see one in person. And if you guys were to call those people, they'd probably bring one out and show it off at one of these
They
events.
didn't fly it this far, so they'd have to trade.
They'd have to truck it. Yeah, it has to be trucked. But it's just like, this is Wright Brothers sort of stuff. And it'd be great if the Aspen Flight Academy had that to show and for show and tell. It'd bring people like me in. And I remember when I was in high school here, they did have flight training. One of the teachers on the side would do flight training, but it was nothing as sophisticated or easy, accessible as what they've all made it. And so I think it's a great program. I'm glad you're doing it.
Thank you. I'll let them know.
Sure, yeah, great.
Is there any further questions?
I'd make a
Did you
motion.
open the public hearing
Public
yet?
hearing.
Oh, we didn't, thank you. I'm so glad you got back
Let me
here.
go ahead and open the public hearing.
I would've got you.
Glad it went very short. That was great. Here to open the public hearing on the liquor license application for a special event permit submitted by Aspen Flight Academy. Anyone in the room or online? Neither. I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing and bring it back for Discussion or a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve a special event liquor license application submitted by Aspen Flight Academy. And thank you for
Second that.
giving us time to review this without a special meeting like last year we had to do.
All right. Motion by Patty, seconded by Greg. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Best of luck.
Thank you so
Yeah, have
much.
fun.
Appreciate
Have
you.
fun.
All right, we are going to first readings that will be set for public hearings on Thursday, September 25th. We're meeting on Thursday that week. A resolution of the BOCC approving third quarter budget supplemental requests. We heard these at length in work session yesterday, and I welcome our finance team. Hello.
Uh-oh, she's adding more to it.
No, just the
was
dollar
just a
amount
change for
change.
the
Revision on
Oh,
that
the
courthouse
change.
or the, whichever one was it? What was it?
So, good afternoon, Connie Baker, Picken County Budget Director. What Liz is handing out is the revised resolution with the dollar amount change for the Health and Human Services sewer line repair. That went from 100,000 to 225,000. Otherwise, the resolution is the same as what's in your packet, just this $1 change. With that dollar change, the resolution before the board would increase the county's budgeted expenditures by $2,736,993. That's offset by an increase in budgeted revenues of $528,516 for a net increase to the budget of $2,208,477. There are quite a number of requests included in this resolution, and yesterday the board had time during the work session to hear from staff directly, ask questions, talk through some of them at length, others a little more briefly. So hopefully these are all fresh in the board's mind, but I'll just go through each one very briefly. In the general fund, there's a request for a new ongoing position in the attorney's office, and that's for a paralegal. 2 facilities general fund requests, one for courthouse chiller and heating lines, and the other for the Health and Human Services sewer line repair. In the capital fund, there's the assets building access control modernization. This is an increase to the project cost. Also for the sheriff, the Law Enforcement Community Services Grant Program. This is just appropriating the funds for a narcotics testing device that the commissioners had already approved the grant. In the library fund, there are boiler plant repairs to keep the heating system functional for the winter. In the library and general funds, increases to the security guard with extended coverage for weekends and evenings. In the Human Services Fund, a couple of requests, one for an increase to the Community Assistance Fund going into the off-season, and then another for the property tax rebate program that the commissioners approved. This would be the second year in a row for that program. There are 2 HICPUF grants with which the commissioners previously approved and appropriating the funds for Medicaid enrollment and Medicaid rule change. Then in the Healthy Community Fund, they have 3 off-cycle grants for Harvest for Hunger, Lift Up, and Community Health Services. In the Public Health Fund, an increase to the Community Health Services TB contract, and appropriating grant funds for the State Crisis Intervention Program, and that's related to the PACT program. And then in Translator, Public Safety Radio, and Capital Funds, the approval of a term-limited FTE. This will help with succession planning in the telecommunications department and also provide the specialty support needed in the construction of the dispatch center. In the airport fund, security access control, an increase to their budget line item. And then last, in the housing impact fee fund, an increase to the housing acquisition line item. Any questions?
I have a really quick one. So the 26 million, I think it was yesterday that you said, would be the fund balance. Does that include all of this information?
It does.
Okay.
Yep.
Can I ask you a question? This is for John. Regarding Jeff Kruger's resignation and rehiring, it makes sense, but I'm wondering, did he, how long did we know he was going to resign or retire? Retire is the correct word. It just seemed like that's an interesting way to do this, because I hadn't heard about it until now.
No, so at the staff level, we've known for a little bit that that's been the case, and we've been doing some planning for a smooth transition. We're going to be going into recruitment for that. We have 2 projects going on that we'd like to keep him on in a part-time or contract capacity. One is the 911 Communications Center. And we're also doing improvements to our network architecture for the entire county. That will involve upgrades and switches and making it more robust and resilient and more throughput, bigger pipes, basically. And he has been really involved in that project also. So it's not unlike what we've done in other areas. I want to acknowledge is probably a little awkward to have him presenting it yesterday. I'll apologize for that. That's on me. But just like we've done, for example, with Phyllis and Rich and
Right.
All of these positions where you have experience and value, we've been trying to provide an opportunity for folks who are retiring to step down and continue to share their experience and talents with the county.
Like a cool down.
Yeah.
You could do that for commissioners.
If you guys want it, I don't know what that looks like, but.
Anybody in mind?
Other questions?
Nope, that was it. Thank you.
So the only change is just a clarification of the number for the Human Health Services.
That's correct.
Okay. I will make a motion to approve on first reading a resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Pickens County, Colorado, providing supplemental appropriations to the 2025 budget and amending the 2025 budget third quarter.
I'll second that.
Thank you.
I'm glad you clarified that it was Pickens County.
Yes. I was trying to fit county and commissioners in there at least 3 times.
For
but it
public
wasn't
hearings
there.
on September 25th, next
Second reading,
reading.
right?
Yeah.
Yep, second
Thank
reading
you.
on September 25th. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Connie. You make it so easy.
I'm wondering, I think if our pages.
Liz, you
the-
didn't
our
have that
number-
on yesterday, did you?
Oh, sorry.
Missed it.
If our requests go above, what was our number yesterday? 16, 17? I think below that, past that, we need more than 1 hour for discussion. Maybe our threshold should be 15 requests we could fit in an hour.
It was pushing it a little bit
Yeah.
yesterday, yeah.
All good. All right, moving on to item number 5, a resolution of the BOCC approving an intergovernmental agreement between Pickens County BOCC and Eagle County BOCC for the restoration of the historic Glacier Farmstead. Hi, Jesse.
Hi, thank you. Jessie Young with Open Space and Trails. And this kind of is a follow-up to the work session I attended back in March to walk you through using our budget for this historic renovation. And at the time I had said that Eagle County had committed $350,000, and they've been an awesome partner throughout this project, and they are committing those funds formally, and this IGA is seeking to kind of formalize that partnership with them and approve accepting those funds. So hopefully it's a no-brainer. They've been an awesome partner for us, and I think this is the beginning of more projects to take place on the property, and we're excited to kind of have this in writing. I can answer any questions.
Patty.
Yeah, I think a huge thank you to Eagle County for the $350,000 to help on this. I know, and I'm sorry, that the grant applications were unsuccessful. Is there an opportunity for us to reapply at some point?
Well, not for the historic house. What we will be reapplying for this October is the historic barn. And I think that that's a more straightforward project that doesn't deal with interior work that can't be funded through the grant. So it's a lot easier ask for them. So
Okay, great.
there's other projects that I think will be more applicable.
Okay, and I have to make note, I love the term bondarinium.
Barndominium.
Who made that up? Did you make that up?
I can't take credit for that, but
I circled it with a little smile. I thought that was a great word, so thank you.
Further questions?
It's a great spot. It's a great little old house.
yeah, we're excited. Our bid is out there in the world, and we're expecting to receive all the bids next week. So we'll be starting to hit the ground running very soon.
I'd make a motion
Go ahead.
to approve.
Thank you, Greg. Is there a second?
And set for second reading and public hearing on the 25th of September, and I'll make a second,
Which is a Thursday.
which is a
Hang on.
Thursday for our next regular meeting.
Just keep reminding me.
Yeah. Show up on Thursday.
No, we're gonna get you here on Wednesday and keep you overnight.
I'll probably show up both days.
If there's no further discussion, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you all. That was so much shorter than yesterday.
Yeah.
Item number 6, an ordinance of the BOCC approving the purchase of 113 Polo Road, Glenwood Springs, Colorado. Housing
Good.
analyst Andrew Miller.
Hi, good afternoon. Andrew Miller, Housing Program Analyst. This is the first reading of an ordinance to purchase a deed-restricted unit back from one of our employees. They purchased this unit back in May of 2022 through our deed restriction program. The employee is not leaving the organization, but their life circumstances are changing, so they're looking to sell the unit. Originally purchased for $761,700, with the county contributing 37% of that, or $284,000, and the employee contributing the additional 63% of that. It is a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 1952 single-family home in Glenwood Springs with 1,872 square feet. Based off today, the current purchase or appreciated price is $530,252 based off their initial purchase price. That means the county's total investment so far would be $814,252. Current closing is scheduled for October 16th. Appraisal and an inspection are already scheduled. And out of the budgetary impact, with that $530,252 coming out of it, we originally allocated $1.2 million in 2025, and with this, that there would be a remaining $153,466.18 left in the capital fund for future buyback needs.
Wonderful. Questions for Andrew? Patty?
So on your agenda item summary, I can fill in behind the dollar sign.
Yes, my apologies. I noticed that, and I went, oh shoot, I can't believe I forgot
I'm
that.
like, and the property is a dollar sign.
Yeah, so 814.
252.
252,
Thank
correct.
you.
Thank you.
Other questions? What, and then we'll get a recommendation on how to dispose?
Correct.
In the future? Okay.
I will make a motion.
Please.
To approve an ordinance of the Board of County Commissioners of Pickens County, Colorado, approving the purchase of 113 Polo Road, Glenwood Springs, Colorado, and set for a second reading and public hearing on Thursday, September 25th.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Thank you.
Right.
Thank
And
you.
Abby, if you wouldn't mind promoting Michael Port, who is our next presenter. We are moving on to public hearings and second readings. And this one is a memorandum of understanding between the Board of County Commissioners of Pickens County, Colorado, and the Colorado Energy Office for investment grade audit technical assistance. Hi, Michael. Oh, hang on, we got to turn you up here. All right.
Testing.
There. All right, we went way up. All right.
Perfect.
Oh, hang on.
Perfect. Hi there. I am Michael Port, Climate Action Analyst with the Resiliency Team. I am sorry that I wasn't able to be there in person for this, but we are presenting a resolution to sign a memorandum of understanding with the Colorado Energy Office for free technical assistance to complete an energy audit on our facilities. When I presented this to you a couple weeks ago for first reading, I summarized how this is in alignment with our climate action plan. It's one of the key first strategies that we need to undertake to start tackling some planning and optimizing of our county facilities. And the approach that we're going about this process is going through a Colorado Energy Office program where they provide assistance to help us select a vendor that can do this project with us, among other things. So in the MOU, there's a list of the obligations and different areas that the Energy Office is going to support us and what our responsibilities are as well. So we are seeking your signature on that MOU.
All right, questions for Michael?
Just no changes since first reading?
Michael, were there any changes since first reading?
Oh, sorry. No, there was not.
Thank you.
All right, this is a public hearing. So let me open the public hearing and see if anyone in the room or online wishes to comment on this MOU for technical assistance.
Wow, we're just kicking it.
All right, seeing none, I will close the public hearing and bring it back for a motion or discussion.
I'll move to approve the MOU with the Colorado Energy Office for investment grade audit technical assistance.
Thank you.
I'll second, set for second reading, public hearing on.
This is the
Oh, no,
second.
this is the second
Yep,
reading.
no,
Oh, gosh.
good.
we
We're
don't
here.
have to-
We made
We
it.
don't have to do this again, Michael.
All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Michael. Look forward to the
Excellent.
results.
Thanks.
Item number 8 is an ordinance of the BOCC approving the purchase of 1400 East Valley Road, 124. So that's Unit 124 in Basalt, Colorado. Andrew, welcome back.
Hi, thank you. Andrew Miller, Housing Program Analyst. This is the second reading for a acquisition to add to our employee rental inventory. No changes since first reading. Purchase price is still $920. The only thing we are waiting on is a receipt of a radon mitigation system that the seller is installing, as well as there was some cracked window glazing that, again, they're are responsible for and agreed to in the inspection objections that we put back.
Excellent. Any questions for Andrew? Is there any changes since first reading?
I'm good.
I will open the public hearing. Any members of the public wish to comment on our ordinance to purchase this property in Basalt? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing, bring it back to the board. Is there a motion to approve?
I would make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? We're a quiet bunch today. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
To our housing team.
Good job, Kelly, whipping us.
Thanks.
Yeah, except for no one's ready. We're blasting ahead.
Any chance you'd take a 5-minute break?
We-
I don't think
yes.
anybody anticipated this moving.
Yes, yes.
Oh, come on, where is their faith
Or
in
we could
this?
do some open discussion items. Why don't we do some open discussion?
I'll work on gathering.
And we have a number of open discussions, Suzanne, so I think we'll buy you a little bit of time.
Maybe we could split it. I was kind of planning on moving my car so I don't get another.
So why don't we talk about healthy rivers and streams and you go move your car?
Great, thanks.
Perfect, Kelly, perfect.
Well done. I'm not going to say it's because Jeffrey's not here. I don't know what it is, but we are flying.
Well, we have very non-controversial
slow things
items
down, so I don't
today
get it.
until
Yeah.
these.
I like this.
I don't think
No
anyone
weird questions. No questions.
No, that's okay, and I
I'm
think we
saving it.
have what we need for the Healthy Rivers discussion if Charlotte or Lisa
Text
can't
it out, but
join.
if you guys could do the discussion.
Okay, so we have 2 outstanding vacancies. Our long-term board members on the Healthy Rivers and Streams Board, Chris Lemons, and then longer-term, perhaps inaugural member,
Totally.
Bill
Inaugural. Yeah,
Yocums,
he was with me.
are both stepping down. And so we had interviewed potential replacements, including Interviews we conducted earlier this year, Rio Jacober and Matt Schmigelski, who both live in District 5. And then more recently, Ann Kyung, I think is how she said it, who lives in District 2. Great. And we have Lisa McDonald. If you want to come up in case we have any questions.
Hi.
So let's see. There was an outstanding question at the end of Ann's interview about if she moves out of District 2, how that affects her appointment. And the information I have in front of me says that Healthy Rivers and Streams bylaws say that should an appointed board member's residency change during their term, but the board member remains a resident of the Roaring Fork Valley watershed, such member may continue to serve their term as originally appointed and may be reappointed for subsequent terms at the discretion of the Board of County Commissioners. So it doesn't sound like it will cause her to have to resign, should we choose to appoint her. And so with these 2 vacancies, I think the question I need for clarification, can we appoint any of these 3 for these 2 openings, or do we need to appoint District 5 to District 5, District 2 to District 2?
Well, the bylaws also state may appoint if possible, so you can appoint. I think they would like, just like open space, to appoint within that district, but we've not had everybody cover every district, so.
Okay.
Question.
Yes, please.
I was under the impression from Ann that she might move from District 2 and just wanted to be full disclosure, I think.
Yep.
But we don't know if that's certainty or when. Is that
She's
correct?
still okay to be appointed.
But either way, she could be appointed.
Right.
So, but,
Yep.
okay. Yeah.
Are you prepared to
I'll make a.
discuss your 2? We're just giving direction on this. This will come back in a formal
I'm going to
resolution.
propose, I've been watching and talking to Matt Schmigelski for a long time, and I admire his tenacity, his involvement in the community. And so I would propose Matt for District 5 at this point, but it's open to discussion, certainly. And I would propose Ann for District 2. I was struck by her enthusiasm, her education, and her experience with aquatic nuisance species work. And that to me is a gift, honestly, as we're looking at aquatic nuisance species issues. Possibly, it doesn't seem like we have a problem in Lincoln Creek because the copper is killing them. But in Rudeye, we're still on the defensive. And I think about that and so our watershed has luckily remained clear, but it would be great to have somebody who seems to be passionate about that. My reservations about her are only that she's so new. But I guess I'm willing to take the chance. So I would put those 2 forth, but I'm going to say it. My reservations about appointing the child of a fellow commissioner, I'd feel uncomfortable if my kid was up for an appointment because it creates awkwardness at times, and so I tend to shy away from doing that. And I actually originally was trying to promote Ty Jacober to run for commissioner in District 5, and Francie stepped in and in his place. So I think Ty is a remarkable individual. He's on the State Wildlife Commission, I believe.
So we're talking about Rio.
Rio, you're talking about
Oh, that
Rio.
was Rio for that commission? Wait a minute, Rio for this.
Rio's the
Oh, I was thinking Ty. Oh, I can sing Ty's praises all day. Oh, Rio, I don't know anything about him. No, Rio as well is a remarkable individual. He interviewed so well. But still, I get a funny feeling. It's just like, Patty talks about conflicts of interest with her kid who works for one of the people who's making an application to us. And I think, well, I really appreciate you doing that. And sometimes I don't think it's necessary, but arm's length is good. Arm's length is good. So that's my stance.
All right, thank you. Patty?
I think Rio, with his background in ranching and agriculture and water use, would be great. But Matt has been trying. He's been persevering. I did spend some time with him not too long ago on the banks. I'm hoping that Ann doesn't bring oysters to the valley, because I think her work back east was with oysters.
Unless she brings them to Bridget.
Yeah, she
fresh.
brings. But I think her PhD in chemistry will be beneficial with our looking at heavy metals in our water with the drought issues that hopefully will turn around next year, but I'm keeping my fingers really crossed on that. So I'm supporting Matt and Ann.
Great. I won't put up any fuss. I think we were lucky to have excellent candidates. I appreciate that we actually are considering candidates from the districts that we need to fill. We don't always get that on this board. I see Charlotte as well. If you could maybe see if Charlotte has any additional thoughts. But Anne demonstrated that she will jump in and be an active board member, which I also know is sometimes a challenge on boards. And I think she demonstrated well how she's done that in other volunteer opportunities in her past. So I feel great about those recommendations.
And
you
I
both
see
made.
Glenn Horn flying into the.
Glenn, you're appointed.
But you didn't have a, Glenn, where's your helmet riding your bike?
All right. I think that's our direction as a board. Jeffrey's absent today. Francie is recused because her son has applied.
It's my understanding that Jeffrey's on the same page as we are.
Okay. Sure. Great. And Charlotte, did we miss anything?
She already left us.
I know.
I just joined, so
Okay.
I can get the details from Lisa, but sorry about that. I thought you all were doing it towards the end of the meeting.
We moved so fast that we decided to tackle some of our open discussion
ahead
while
of
Patty is
staff.
still here because she will be gone for the last item. So thank you and appreciate everyone's flexibility on our time
Thanks,
today.
Kelly. Good idea.
Okay.
Thank
I think that's
you.
it. Thank you. All right.
Thanks.
Okay, let's, should we check it? We need Francie to come back for
To recuse.
Flying Dog. Yeah.
She's going to recuse anyway, so.
Unless you wanted
Oh. Can we start without her? Does she have to publicly recuse, even though we know she's recused?
She recused publicly the last time.
Well, wait a minute.
I just don't know if she knew to come back.
She has to come back, so Patty
Generally,
can
since
right.
I believe, and it's an interesting question, but since she is part of the quorum and the board, it would be more appropriate for her to recuse.
Can't just
and
roll her
make a
previous
statement.
recusal over.
Okay, I'm texting her now.
Just so that it's part of the record on a land use and a quasi judicial, I think it'd be more appropriate to do it that way.
So Kelly, can I real quick while you're doing that, John, I'm just going to bring up an agenda issue, kind of open discussion. On the 30th, when we have a meeting starting at 10 to do the Emma Distillery issue, I have ACRA that morning and I'll run over as soon as I can. I already talked to Leslie. It's not their annual, so it's okay. And then we're going to do the Aspen Mountain, and I haven't decided. I'll let you guys know if that's going to work. But because I know we're doing that after our short work session.
Whether you're
that
going
day.
to attend the site visit?
Yeah.
You're not recused on Cloud 10, though?
No, no.
Okay.
I keep
Come on,
calling
it'll
it.
be fun.
I keep calling it Cloud 11 for some reason. I know it's not 9, but somehow I skipped 10. So
You like odd numbers. Well,
we have another.
let's see.
short-
I think another thing we could discuss, I spoke with John, and I know, I've had this conversation with Francie and Jeffrey, who are not here, so I can have it with you, and we can decide on direction for staff about evaluating elected official salaries. We've had requests from board members to consider that for our board as well as our other 3 electeds, which we decide on setting that and having some review of what that looks like comparatively and discussion at this board.
So you're asking for us to join in with for board direction or to staff to
Yeah.
research it?
Yep.
Or I would support looking into it, sure.
I have had this discussion more times than I care to admit over the years. I don't mind having it again, but it's just to see where the board stands. But I think trying to give electeds a raise at this time of what's going on in our region, in our state, and in our country, I think we need to be looking at what we're doing with our general fund dollars, especially with the hits that our own staff is going to be taking, our regular, non-elected staff, so, but I don't mind having a discussion and having staff bring us back information. I'm not sure it'll change my mind, but I'm willing to discuss it.
That's great. I don't think our elected administrators have kept up with the raises we've extended to staff.
Well,
I'd like to investigate.
I just don't think it'll look good to the public if we're giving electeds raises when we're worried about putting food on the tables of even some of our own staff members. But that's part of the discussion to be had.
Thank you.
So that's direction.
Yes. What else? Can I just check in? I don't think I took good notes relative to, and sorry for you all who are waiting for land use. We need Francie to come back and publicly state her recusal before, when we start
She's
that
lost,
item.
tried to find her car and then park it.
Well, how did we leave it on Little Red yesterday? Who is going to invite them to come present? Is that?
So we've already
do that?
reached out.
Okay,
Yep.
great.
And we'll seek out a date.
Okay. And then I have a note from a prior meeting that I should check in with Gunnison, the chair in Gunnison, about a potential joint meeting if they have any interest in that. Is that correct? Okay. What else?
Are we gonna
Nope,
seek a
Francie's
joint
good.
meeting with Garfield?
I don't know.
Don't, I see that smirk on your face, Mr.
Oh.
I was reading something.
I think it'd be polite to do that.
Well, there's that. And also, the Eagle County, what I thought was a joint meeting is now a site visit, which is optional. So that means they're not going to all show. Maybe one of them will. I don't know. Maybe two of them. On the 17th, do we have a plan to meet with them again anytime soon? Do we wait till winter when they can ski?
Generally, we've only been meeting with them on ski day, but if they have an issue they think we need to discuss, but we don't have a lot of time left in the year and we're busy, but never hurt
I
staff.
feel like our working relationship with Eagle is very intentional and frequent, and that's why
Seems to be pretty good, right?
you know, we have things that get brought to us through staff for collaboration rather than some of the other boards.
see
where we
Tom once
have
a month.
less cross-staff collaboration, and so that board
Yeah.
joint meeting becomes more important.
I see Tom at every Northwest COG meeting. He's great to talk to.
I will say we had some discussion. Our meeting on the 16th, is it the 16th? For our Picken County Cares Awards. Starts at 10:30. There are 2 potential quick items we could review in exec. And I wanted to check in on whether you all would be willing to meet at 9:30 or 9:45, which would still probably allow
16th.
for a break
That's
before
coming
Picken
Tuesday.
County Cares.
It's fine with me. Rye will be out, but I'll be.
Okay, and one had to do with one of the water actions we talked about earlier today, and
Picken
then
County Cares is at 10.
10:30.
10:30. So the
10:30.
work session starts at 10:30.
It's going to be a long Picken County Cares Award. We've got to talk about that at some point too, about how we restructure that to how we used to do it rather than how we're just doing it now, those awards.
Streamline them.
Well, we used to have 5 categories, and we picked 5 out of all the people nominated who fit a category. Now it's pretty much whoever's nominated gets an award. So, but we can talk about that later. Whatever.
Is that okay?
The exec, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
At 9:45, 9:30?
Is it definitely happening, or you're just
I
checking?
think we're checking right now.
So would that give us enough time, half an hour?
I think they're both short, but.
Because
I'll
we
let
need to
you
get, we
done.
need to be there ready to go at 10:30, because it's gonna take us a while to read, what are there, 15 awards or something?
Yeah, I think, I don't know about, I don't have the details on the water case. It doesn't sound like it would require a lot of time, and mine is a follow-up to an item that the board discussed. I
So
think
that'll
would be
take us
quick.
forever.
I really don't. I really think
Okay.
we'll move quick. So if we set at 9:30, there will still be plenty of time to transition.
Hold us to that.
I will. I'm good at
I
moving
know,
us
I
fast.
know. I'm giving you the leeway. And
Okay.
speaking of that, though,
Thank you.
did we fill out who's doing what awards?
Not yet.
I marked my.
I know,
first-
I need clarity on yours a little bit, but, okay, so let's bring us back. We may have a little bit more open discussion to revisit, at the end of the meeting. But we have our folks here to start land use. So let's move on to our first land use public hearing, item number 9. A resolution granting approval for the Flying Dog West Ranch Incorporated Activity Envelope Review, major amendment to a development permit, and 7-year vested real property right. And I'll invite applicant and staff to come on up.
Can I go ahead and
Is this the
recuse?
one?
Oh, sorry. And yes,
That's
Francie
right,
has.
we're waiting. Oh, then we forgot her.
So, I am recusing from this item because I have family members who are involved with the Flying Dog.
Thank you, Francie.
Very close. Yes, thank you. Who is raising their hand? I'm sorry. Let me put my.
Oh, it's
you
me.
are. Turns out I need these glasses more and more.
It's called having an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old.
You know, I've been
Al,
coming to these meetings for 45 years now.
No, you have
and
not.
This is
Oh my God.
the first time that I was ever in my office when my item came up.
That's called rapid response.
Yeah, we were all surprised. I mean, it must be, you know, whoever's making the agendas, they're doing a good job.
After the last 2
Well, not
regular
really,
meetings we
'cause-
had to shorten this one, or we were all going to walk out and protest.
Yeah, we've had some long ones this
Glenn,
summer.
you do have a helmet out there, right?
I got my helmet
Okay.
on my bike.
You're supposed to put it on your head.
Well, it was on my head. I'm not
Helps
going
in
to wear
here
it
also.
in here.
Yeah, in here too.
Welcome. We're ready if you are.
Perfect, thank you. Hi, everyone. Back with a shorter presentation for Flying Dog West, continued from August. Just to give you an overview of where we are again, we're off of Highway 133, right outside of Carbondale. 240-acre parcel. And then we're looking at the headquarters parcel, which is designated with all of the residential and other development on the property. The entire property is subject to an AVLT conservation easement, and we're specifically talking about the residential structures that you see in red here. It's a BOCC one-step review, multiple review types, which we'll go into again. Staff has prepared a resolution, and the applicant is preparing a covenant agreement for the preservation of historic resources, a development agreement, and an activity envelope to be recorded with this approval. So looking at the applicant's requests, we have the activity envelope review, which you see on the right. The primary activity envelope in red is going to encompass the entire headquarters parcel and will be revised at time of site plan review. And then there's also going to be the secondary activity envelope, which you see in yellow, which is for the OWTS and is permitted in the conservation easement. There's also a major amendment to development permits, specifically relating to the historic incentives granted for the designation of the North Cabin, Log Barn, and Milk Barn to the historic register, and then a 7-year vested property right for the activity envelopes. So from our last meeting, the applicant has withdrawn 2 of the requests, and the resolution has been amended accordingly. These are exempt subgrade floor area and the request for a development up to 5,750 square feet, GMQS exemption for development. The other discussion that was had at the last meeting was related primarily to floor area. The resolution has been amended following these 3 things. We have the reduction of principal dwelling units from 3 to 2, with the ability to construct a 7,500 square foot single family residence partially comprised of the south cabin and main house, and would require the demolition of those two. And then additionally, the north cabin is limited to its existing floor area, and if the non-historic floor area is to be torn down, it can't be reconstructed elsewhere on the property. There's also no change to the historic floor area on the property.
Sorry, just for clarification, I'm trying to dredge this back out of my memory, but the 7,500 square feet single-family residence comprised of the existing, that sentence doesn't make sense to me. Could you just explain what that really means? I'm looking for clarity on that.
Yeah, that's just, I guess that's more to clarify that it's not in addition to those structures on the property. It's going to be contingent upon that those will be demolished and replaced with those. And yeah, I guess
replacing the existing south
Yeah.
cabin and main house, would that be more
Yeah.
accurate? Okay,
Yeah,
I
in
just want
terms
to make
of
sure that's clear.
yeah, code language, it was kind of with how we got to the
Copy that.
7,500 was that way.
Sorry, thank you.
Mhm. And then the request for a 7-year vested property right pursuant to 220-170, a development agreement needs to happen with the final development of the property, and this will include the preservation of the north cabin in its existing condition and the inability to construct the non-historic floor area elsewhere, and the reduction of the principal dwelling units, which benefits the property in terms of its land use compliance. And then the applicant and staff just wanted to clarify that with this application, the option remains open for a portion of the main house to be designated to the historic register with a subsequent land use application and approval. This would require extensive rehabilitation, but the option does remain open. So the amended approval from last meeting would, moving that around, include the approval of 2 activity envelopes, a primary and secondary, a major amendment to the development permit, reducing the principal dwelling units from 3 to 2 and allowing a 7,500 square foot single-family residence, and a 7-year vested real property right for the activity envelopes on the parcel. And staff recommends that the BOCC adopt the resolution granting approval for the Flying Dog West Ranch activity envelope review, major amendment to a development permit, and 7-year vested property right. Thank you.
Thank you. This was a tricky one. Glenn.
My name is Glenn Horn, representing Richard and Lydia McIntyre. Flying Dog Ranch West is the ownership entity, and we've worked through the resolution with Rebecca, and everything seems to be fine. You know, we don't have any changes with the exception of one. The resolution suggests that there be a 60-day period before we record the activity envelope and development agreement, actually submit the activity envelope plan and development agreement, and we would ask that that could be changed to 90 days. But those are the only changes that we have.
And why is 90 preferable to 60?
Just gives us a little more time to get it done.
Where is that in the?
I think it's probably
Number 1.
condition number, yeah. Condition number 1.
Oh, it looks like you did change it to 90 in my packet. Within 90 days of this.
Is it? Mine says 60.
Yeah, it's on page 7 of the resolution. Mine says 60.
Am I looking at? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. Sorry. Sorry about that. Wrong one.
Is staff's okay with that? Okay. I'm okay with that.
I just have a I don't know if the McIntyres plan to move anytime soon, but we have been in a situation in the past where we've gone through these major plan approvals and then they didn't record the things that needed to be recorded before a sale happened, and then everything we negotiated kind of got lost. And so I'd love to not have that happen.
How can we get a guarantee?
You know?
Yeah.
So I guess I'm looking to staff for what is there's no assurances between now and 90 days. Is that part of it?
I mean, I think the request
60
is
days
reasonable
or-
for the 90
yeah.
days. I mean, usually with the development agreement, it does require more work on their end as well as running it through staff in the attorney's office. I mean, I think in terms of assurance, I think we just, do our best, and obviously, right, if Glenn is aware and we're aware that there may be a transaction coming up that will, but yeah, we don't have a great hammer, I guess, to throw down on that one.
Okay.
Other than trying to work as best we can with them to make it happen.
Can I
I can twist Glenn's arm.
So Glenn, as I recall, the McIntyres expressed their, that their desire was actually to put it on the market, and they're trying to get this accomplished to make it more marketable. So my feeling is as soon as this approval happens, it'll be on the market if it isn't already. That would make sense to me. So it makes me a little nervous. And the other thing, I remember when in the original presentation, it was presented to us that Richard had put the conservation easement on the property, and I want some clarification on that, because I thought that was something George Stranahan had done, and I don't know how their relationship worked or when Richard bought it from George, but I want to make sure that I understand clearly who's taking credit for that and who should get credit for it. Can you enlighten me on that?
I can't tell you what the relationship was at the time when the conservation easement was done. I know that George signed the easement, but I don't know, and Richard isn't here yet because he was in Carbondale when I got the call, so he would know the answer. But Richard and Lydia started working on the property and had an agreement with George to take over ownership, but they started working there in '71. So I don't know when the title actually changed from George to Richard and Lydia, and I don't know what their arrangement was. But in '81, George signed the conservation easement.
So he was still the owner at that time?
Yes.
Right, got it. Okay, thanks.
And now, the credit for the conservation easement is not part of the application, so that's kind of moved aside, but the clarification I know is something that you wanted to have, but it's not, there's no credit being given. It was kind of discussed at the onset, so that's off the table.
Do you accept the request for 90 days as opposed to 60?
Oh, yeah.
Sure, and I can't wait to see what happens.
Well, I can tell you that the neighbors up there will be very surprised if things change within 90 days. I think, by the time they get this signed and move through, 90 days clicks by pretty fast, so.
Okay, I'm okay with it as well. This is a public hearing. Let me go ahead and open the public hearing. Let me go ahead and close the public hearing. Is there further discussion or a motion to approve the resolution as amended?
I will make a motion to approve a resolution granting approval for Flying Dog Ranch West, Inc. activity envelope review, major amendment to development permit, and 7-year vested right, and that should incorporate the 90-day change and any other changes that I think we're good.
I'll second. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Right.
And the ski company's waiting out in the front if
Thanks,
somebody wants
Glenn.
to bring them in.
Thank you very much on
Boogieing
behalf
over.
of Richard and Lydia. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
And
Thanks,
I'll
Lynn.
try not to be late again.
They've been great stewards, yeah, really. Way to
I'm
show up.
watching you put your helmet on when you get out there.
They
If
have
you
been
don't, I'm
great
calling
stewards
your
of the
wife.
property.
All right, let me get Francie back here. Maybe let's take a 5-minute break. I think we'll have a crew that needs to set up.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Pickens County Board of County Commissioners regular session on Wednesday, September 10th. I just want to make sure, are we live here, Abby? Usually I can see myself. Okay, great. No, all good. All right, we are on our last item on the agenda for today, our land use public hearing for a resolution granting approval to Aspen Ski Company for an amendment to the Aspen Mountain Ski Area Ski Rec Master Plan and activity envelope and site plan review for the Nell Bell lift alignment and replace snowmaking line. I will, before we get started, I will turn the table over to Patty Clapper. Who has a
Yes,
statement.
I regretfully so, sorry guys. I know you'll miss my participation, need to recuse because my son-in-law will be responsible for the relocation or improvements to the snowmaking since that is his job on Aspen Mountain. So I will be leaving the room. And if I'm still around, because Leslie said you guys are gonna, I will come back in for open, but chances are.
Okay.
Okay, thank you
I'll
guys.
shoot you a text
Okay,
when we
thank you.
finish up.
Have fun.
And Jeffrey Woodruff had a training today, so he is not participating in today's public hearing. All right, let me turn it over. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome.
So, as you know, I'm Leslie Lamont. I'm a senior planner with the Community Development Department. And just full disclosure, this is my slideshow attempt at this. The young people who support me in the office were not there when I was putting this together. So it's not the usual Pickens County template before you. But the application before you is a request for a minor amendment to the 2018 Aspen Mountain Ski Area Ski Rec Master Plan and activity envelope and site plan review to merge the Little Nell chairlift with the Bell Mountain chair and develop a new base terminal closer to the gondola. The location of the top terminal will remain the same as the Bell Mountain chair, and the alignment of the lift will follow roughly the same alignment as the current Bell Mountain chair. A new snowmaking line is necessary to go into Lusheen Road to go up to the top of Bell Mountain to service as people get off the lift, but that will replace an existing line that's in the same vicinity, so no new snowmaking lines are proposed. This is a little context map that I have for you here. So the base of the mountain is within the city of Aspen, and that heavy gray brownish dash line is the city of Aspen, Pickens County line. And so the base area will change a little bit, and then the alignment will go up to, and there's Grand Junction of Copper and Spar, and then page down. I won't do this the whole time. And then from the Grand Junction of Copper and Spar, the alignment will follow up to the top of Bell Mountain. So typically, this review occurs at this minor amendment to a development permit would be an administrative level. However, our community development director felt that it would be more appropriate for the BOCC to review this minor amendment. This BOCC review provides a more robust public review process for an alteration to the iconic Little Nell ski run and the famous Bell Mountain chair. This BOCC review is an informal resolution, meaning there's only one reading of the resolution. Mac Keeling, Eric Newmeyer, and Travis Benton are here representing the ski company to, oh, and Chris Kiley is here. I knew you walked in, I saw you. They are also here, they are all here to represent the ski company and to make a broader presentation in more detail of their proposal. An affidavit of public notice was submitted, and we found that it complies with our standards. Now, Abby, where's my little downward deal?
If you just,
Yeah, but I don't want to do it that way.
okay.
Can I?
You need a chauffeur lesson.
Oh, here.
I do.
Here.
Oh,
We're gonna
get rid of
X
that.
this out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there you go.
There we go.
It was hiding.
I had all these screens blocking me. So, as I said, this review is an amendment to the master plan and its activity envelope and site plan review. For the new terminus at the top of Bell Mountain and the new towers and footers that need to go in along the alignment of the lift and the new snowmaking line. So the base of the lift is in the city of Aspen, and the applicant is going through the city of Aspen review process as we speak. And the applicant has submitted the same application to the Forest Service for review. The Forest Service provided initial comments in support of the application, but they're requiring a National Environmental Policy Act, NEPA, review before final approval is granted. Staff conducted a site visit during the winter and again August 27th. Referral comments were received from the City of Aspen, Colorado Geologic Survey, and Aspen Fire Protection District. And those comments were in attachment B of your packet. And their conditions that they requested, those conditions of approval are in the resolution. So our first review is a minor amendment to a development permit that we consider when we're looking at an application, and we're looking to see that it's consistent with previous development approvals for the property. The 2018 Ski Company Master Plan has a paragraph in there that approved activities and uses allowed all year on the ski mountain, and one of those approved activities and uses is construction of new ski lift facilities as depicted in the Aspen Mountain Master Plan, as well as lift renovation, relocation, upgrading, and maintenance to the extent there is no significant increase in the bulk of the top or bottom terminals or associated facilities. So the master plan identifies maintenance and reconstruction and replacement of lifts, and it did identify replacement for the bell chair, but it did not identify this specific alignment. Therefore, staff felt that this was something that required a minor amendment. Does not change the use of the proposed development. It's still a ski area. It doesn't change the basic character of the land. In fact, it's taking two lifts and merging them into one lift. It's not a new land development activity. It's just a reconstruction and replacement of existing activity on the property. Does not increase off-site impacts in the surrounding neighborhood. Staff found it does not endanger public health, safety, or welfare. In fact, the ski company will probably tell you that the Bell Mountain chair is a really, really old chair, and it's kind of seen its useful life, particularly when it comes to public safety. We're using the land use code to review this proposal. All development will occur in an area that's already disturbed and will occur on the mountain on currently existing access roads. And with regard to does not increase the floor area, The master plan did not identify specific floor areas that the ski company had to adhere to with regard to any redevelopment. It looks at specific uses on the property and how those uses could change over time. As I said, the allowed activities and uses anticipated new ski lift facilities and renovation and upgrading those facilities. And obviously, the new lift terminals are not going to reduce the open space on Aspen Mountain by more than 5%. And in fact, here is a quick little chart to show you what the existing square footage is between the top and the bottom of the Little Nell lift, and then the top and the bottom of the Bell Mountain chair, and then what they're replacing those square footages with. So there's a net increase of 343 square feet. And Mac will get into the lift operator shack at the top of Bell Mountain and the size and why it's important that it's designed the way it's designed. So finally, one of the criteria for a minor amendment is consistency with existing master plans. And the East of Aspen Independence Pass Planning Area master plan kind of encompasses this area of Aspen Mountain. And from that master plan, they quote, "The Aspen Mountain Ski Area Ski Rec Master Plan, as approved by the county, governs development uses and activities within the ski mountain ski area within the ski rec zone district. Therefore, staff finds that the application complies with the code standards for a minor amendment to a development permit." So our next code section that we're looking at is activity envelope and site plan review. Again, this is for the new footers and towers within the existing alignment, and it's also the top terminal. During our site visit in August, we were really looking at the top terminus, and on the top terminus can be seen from Highway 82, and it can be seen from McLean Flats. So Mac and I went up there because I was really interested to kind of see just kind of how big that was. And the top terminus, the redo of the top terminus will break the ridge line and it will silhouette against the sky. However, the proposed hood and top of the lift and the lift operator shack will be lower in height than the existing terminus of the Bell Mountain chair. And in addition, the master plan states that there will be no significant increase in visibility as seen from the corridors designated in our scenic review section of the code. So, Mac has a good graphic that shows the existing bulk of the top terminus and then what it will look like when it is redeveloped. There are parts of this project that are within mapped avalanche and alluvial fan geologic hazards. Avalanche mitigation occurs every day on the mountain, and the applicant commits to a detailed debris and mud flow assessment for the new lift towers, the terminus, and the access roads because of our alluvial fan hazard. Colorado Geologic Survey was referred this application, and they felt that the applicant's commitment to the debris flow, flood, and mud flow assessment would assuage their concerns with this geologic hazard. The alignment of the lift will cross Spar Gulch and Copper Gulch, but those are already within ditches and culverts. So it doesn't meet our criteria for drainages, concern for drainages and water courses. The new snow making line will be installed on an existing service road. And that service road, Lachine Road, runs to the top of Bell Mountain already, and that new service line will be installed in that road. But as part of this activity envelope exercise, we will be identifying an activity envelope around that new snowmaking line, as well as the alignment and the top terminal. I think I have one more. Tree removal permits will be required, and we have a new lighting code. So the lights on top of the terminal will only be used for nighttime operations, and staff is recommending that they also use motion sensor lights. And there's a specific section, 720-140J, that addresses nighttime operations on the ski mountains. Staff recommends approval of the activity envelope and site plan review with the conditions found in the resolution. I do have minor edits to the resolution, so when you're ready for that, we can go to that, and I have those ready to just show you when we're ready to get there. So staff recommends approval of the minor amendment to the 2018 master plan and the activity envelope and site plan review for the redevelopment of the Nell Bell lift.
And this is a single reading.
Yes.
Thank you. Questions for Leslie right now? Go ahead.
Leslie, did you ski it with them or go up in August? When did you tour?
In the winter, Mac and Chris and Suzanne and I went up and looked at the alignment. I looked at the alignment from the top, but and we skied a little bit of the top of Bell, and then in August, Mac and I drove up there again to the top to check out. Again, I was really concerned about the scenic view impacts from the top of Bell.
Did you, by any chance, just ski from the top of where the lift would be, top of Bell, down to the bottom of Nell? Like, did you just like take a run, or did you? I'm just wondering.
No. Have I in the past? Yes, but I think there's like a section above the bottom of Bell Chair that you cannot ski, right? I think there's a rope.
Above the top, or above the bottom of Bell? Yeah, there's bingo,
Yeah,
right?
bingo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Are you sad they're proposing to get rid of the bell? Just don't. All right. Other questions?
That's it. No, I'm fine.
But I think it's probably for Mac, so I'll wait.
Okay. I don't have any questions. I appreciate this layout, walking us through all the various code sections. Thank you. Mac?
Great.
Okay, I need to stop sharing. Hang on.
She's looking at me like, why are you asking me personal opinions about skiing? How was the snow?
All right. Well, good afternoon. Thank you, everybody. Mac, Eric, Travis, Chris here on behalf of the ski company. Really excited about this project that's before you today. Leslie, I think, did a wonderful job presenting kind of the nuts and bolts of the approval process and all the conditions that were met. And for the most part, we are fully in agreement with the resolution language, and we'll talk about the one or two real nitpicky things that at that point in time. Basically, let me go into presenter mode, sorry. Here we go. As you just heard Leslie say, we are consistent with the 2018 Ski Rec Master Plan. We are consistent with the Picken County Comp Plan, Picken County Land Use Codes, East of Aspen Caucus Plan. I think Leslie did a great job of talking about the majority of those. The thing I want to kind of dive in on a little bit more was in the 2018 Master Plan, we considered a couple of alternative alignments for the Bell Chair, and Kelly and Greg, I know you were there for this part of that conversation. Francie, this is new, so I'll kind of go through this in a little more detail. In the 2018 Master Plan, we identified the removal of the Bell Chair as well as an alternative alignment for the Bell Chair, but we didn't, it's very weird, if you will, that we didn't identify exactly what the alignment was because we weren't in love with either of the ones that were frankly included in that master plan. And we told the BOCC that we'd like to install the Heroes Chair and see what that does to the circulation around Aspen Mountain, how people get around. And frankly, once and do a season or two under that, we've now done that. And last winter, we all came to the conclusion that the alignment you're going to look at today, from the bottom of the Little Nell chair to the top of the existing bell chair, is our preferred alignment, which was not previously described in the master plan specifically. So that's why we're here today. So, all right. So who have we been working with? We have obviously the county staff, but we also have done public outreach to the Little Nell Hotel and the residences at the Little Nell. We had specifically a meeting with each of their respective staffs in June, and then we were invited to the board meeting for the residences at the Little Nell on August 18th. We've so far been working through all of their concerns, and I think we'll continue through that process with the city, as all the work down there is all on city property, but just wanted to let you know we've been doing that. Outside of that, the city of Aspen, we have a minor plan development project review process going on. They've accepted our application, and we are now going through the process there. We'll be meeting, we have 2 sessions with city council later this fall, possibly early winter. And then Forest Service has accepted the plan and the alignment and the modification to the plan, I should say. And they're underway on NEPA review. All of the specialists have been out in the field and have conducted their surveys. They've written their draft reports, and the Forest Service is currently processing those reports, and will get back to us with their findings early 2026. So all of the city approvals, all of the county approvals, all of the forest approvals are all necessary in order for us to construct the lift. If the county says yes today, we still need to go through the city and the forest processes. So what do we feel this project will do? We think that this project is going to be an incredible experience for the guest. We think that it will drastically decrease on those powder days, early season days, the lines that occurred, like for example, before Thanksgiving last year when there was 27 inches of snow and the line wrapped around the block, if you will. This will drastically help that. It will be a great experience for, frankly, anybody looking to get up and over as quickly as they possibly can. With this chair, you'll be able to get to Heroes. You'll be able to get to Ajax Express, FIS. If you really know your way around the mountain, you can get to Ruthie's without taking another chair. So this is basically unlocks everything on the mountain without the need to go to the top. And then, of course, lap skiing on Bell Mountain, really just taking out removing 2 lifts that have the infrastructure and mechanics from the 80s in order to replace with brand new technology, more energy efficient, higher capacity. It reduces the lift time that you would need to go up the Little Nell chair, ski across over to the bell chair, take the bell chair up. Just the time in those 2 chairs is 21 minutes. That doesn't include whatever queuing time, loading time, traversing time, etc. That gets reduced to an 8-minute ride. I think that basically covers that. So here's a little more detailed map that shows Forest Service land in green. It shows the proposed corridor. A lot of times when you think about this alignment, I've heard this question more. A lot of people are asking, well, doesn't that go underneath the Silver Queen alignment? Like, when do you cross? How do you make that? It does not. It runs parallel, or roughly parallel. It gets a tiny bit closer the whole way up. So if you stood at the top of the Bell Mountain and you ski over just a little bit until you can actually see down to the bottom of the city, this is what Leslie and Suzanne and Chris and I did. You're able to follow the old Bell Mountain alignment and draw a straight line, and it basically intersects the bottom of the Little Nell chair. So it's not perfectly parallel, but it's pretty darn close to parallel to the existing Bell Mountain chair, and you extend that to the bottom. So that's just philosophically, so you can visualize that. What is so the project, we're proposing to remove the Little Nell chair, remove the Bell chair, and install this new project. This will include terminal and tower foundations, lift shack foundations, the snowmaking line. Just really important to emphasize, this is not an expansion of snowmaking. This is a replacement of a couple hundred feet of line that is about 35 years old. So yeah, it's a high-speed quad. We're looking at an 1,800 person capacity, which is the same capacity as the Heroes chair. It would run at 1,000 feet a minute, which is a little over twice as fast than the existing lifts go. The bottom terminal and operator shack would be, so this would be a top drive lift, which means that the motor and all the noisier components of the lift would be in the top terminal. That's a more energy efficient design. We'd get all the power up there, and then we would, at the bottom, it would be just a return terminal, so the noise you would hear is just the grip opening up and going along the tires on the inside of the terminal. We would propose the smallest lift shack out there, which is a 10 by 12 at the bottom, and we're proposing at the top, this is something that we're constructing over in Snowmass right now, but it's moving forward. We want to give our employees, this is a nice move for our employees, where we want to do a grip shop at the top terminal. So that's essentially it is roughly 1,400 square feet, or 1,218 square feet, which is two 600 square foot levels, okay? And the chairs can go directly from the back of the terminal on a rail and into a grip shop. So they don't have to take all the chairs off each summer, drive them up to the top of the Silver Queen, take off the grips, do all the non-destructive testing, clean all the parts, et cetera. So they can do everything in-house right there. It's a lot safer. It's a much better experience for the employee, and we really hope that that's something that we can do. There would be a restroom, a vault toilet that's proposed in this structure, and then the standard lift operator building. So the lift corridor, because of newer regulations with Colorado Passenger Tramway Safety Board, would need to be a little wider as far as tree removal. So the corridor, it would be about 40 feet on each side of the rope in order to have trees removed. The majority of the area that we're talking about tree removal, this is outside of this application, but we'll be submitting for permitting. We've been working with the fire department, and there's, as you look out the window here, you'll see a lot of the spruce beetle kill that's occurred over here in Bingo, over on Silver Queen Ridge, and back of Bell. And so we'll be looking at those areas, and again, separate process, but as far as helping wildfire mitigation, we'll be working with the fire department on, hopefully on projects like that this next summer. Access roads are mostly intact. We have current access roads on the majority of this project. There are two small spurs that would be 2-track roads to excavate towers that would then get reclaimed at the end of the day. We'll be proposing a bunch of helicopter operations during this project in order to minimize the amount of ground disturbance we have to do. And then at the end of it, we'll do all of our re-veg and drainage work that is required. Okay. And then visual impacts. So for the most part, yes, you can see this, the top of Bell and the lift alignment from a couple spots on 82 as well as McLean Flats. You are, we'll just go to this. So
Sorry, how tall is it?
23 feet is the height. It's a normal lift terminal that you're used to seeing all around our hills, and that's about 23 feet tall. And we would keep the lift shack at that or below that height. So as you can see here, this is just a picture from Main Street. You can see even with a 36-foot tall existing lift gantry up there, with the naked eye, you can't really tell what's going on. It's far enough away. So here is a visual of the upper right of this picture is the existing top of bell. And the main part of the picture, the dashed line, is basically that existing structure, all those existing structures just put on against a backdrop of what the 23-foot tall lift terminal would look like and the adjacent lift shack and grip shop. So that's to give some perspective on what's there today, what will be there, or what's being proposed for the future. And just here's another look from over by the race course as you're looking across the saddle. Just again, that proposed terminal, proposed lift shack, and existing structures. Okay. The project will be crossing 2 hiking trails and the summer road. Basically, we'll be minimizing disturbance and closures on hiking trails on Summer Road. If we ever do have to close Summer Road, we will have a detour available on ASC's private road, which you can access off of South Aspen Street. That can get you up to the county road. And anything, any of the pedestrian trails, Ajax Trail, Scotty's, we will unfortunately need to shut down for a day or a few days because of helicopters. So, but it won't be shut down because of excavation work. It won't be shut down because of deliveries. It would just be because of work going on above you.
And no contemplation of using Midnight Mine?
There will need to be deliveries using Midnight Mine and Little Annie's Road. So the top terminal, towers, that's something that will, similar to how Heroes work, just the switchback here, Kelly, right there, is not something that anything of any substance or length can get by. And so.
Thank you.
And they don't fly them in? Are they too big?
Yeah, we'll fly them in. We'll be using North Star Flats, or the area right at the end of Ludd's Lane, as our helicopter staging area. So we'll be delivering anything large that should be flown, which is basically the towers and the cross arms, over to that area. Everything else we'll be delivering, like the top terminal will be able to take it right to the site. Bottom terminal will be able to take it right to the site. So. Okay. So I'm going to let Travis take this this next one. This is just some of the special events.
Can we have questions before we change topics?
Yeah,
Yes, yes. Go ahead.
Timeline, I didn't hear anything about timeline. Like, assuming NEPA doesn't take 3 years.
Yeah, no. Assuming we can get through NEPA and through the city process, it's our goal to build this in 2026.
26.
Yeah, we see this as vital to the big plan with Lift 1 and Shadow Mountain and all the construction going on over there and the potential removal of the Shadow Mountain lift. We'd like a second option for out of base for in case we have mechanical issues, weather issues, whatever it is with the Silver Queen. So.
And then when you were working on the proposals for Pandora, which is Heroes, right? You were talking about the traffic on the roads on the front and that was a concern, but I'm not hearing that concern now. Am I right about that? Remember there was some concern about you were going to come up the backside so you wouldn't have so much traffic on the front.
Yeah, and Francie, we'd make the same commitment where the only things, so with Heroes, Pandora's, the only things that went up the backside were things that were either too heavy to go up the front because of how steep it is, like things like a fully loaded concrete truck, or something that was too long, anything over 32
Right,
feet in
because of the
length.
switchbacks, yeah.
Yeah, so all of the daily worker trucks, pedestrian trucks, any other smaller deliveries, that would all go up the front.
Okay.
Yeah, and frankly, this is even further down the hill, so it makes even more sense, and it's even faster to do all that. So that, I think that's even easier.
And I have a couple of questions about user experience, but I think it's going to tie in with what you're about to talk about, so I'll wait.
I do it. Red light's on. You're good.
Yeah. As far as what Little Nell supports currently, I think we're all pretty familiar with the events there. Most of them, ski races, Ajax Cup, World Pro Ski Tour, and then the Torchlight Parade, which all of those are pretty high-level skiers. Torchlight would probably require some lighting and copper to get the torchlighters down there, or maybe possibly using powder tour cats at night to get the skiers up there for a torchlight. The only one of large concern as far as getting skiers up there would be this Gay Ski Week parade, but we would be committed to getting the handful of 6 or so up by snowmobile just on that first little flat to be able to continue to produce that parade, which I think is a value to our town and the world. Kick Aspen night skiing, I think that's the biggest question mark, just because without just Little Nell there, that's a lot of ski terrain. That event is currently, I think, in its 4th or 5th year of production. It kind of morphed out of the core party with, our concert series out by the mall, by Paradise Bakery. Daytime access, guests can still reach the top of Little Nell via the Nell Bell lift, or lift 1A, traversing back over on the Goat Road up top. And then, like I said, the ability level of most of our events in that area, the ski level, I think, is World Pro Ski Tour, Ajax Cup, are more than capable of skiing copper to get down there. Yeah, I'd say.
Do you want to talk about just hours of operation of what's going on currently versus what we're proposing here?
So currently we were doing a rough count, approximately 25 to 30 days of public use on Little Nell last year. Pretty limited use on the lift, and even when it's open, ridership is pretty slim to none. The Queen takes the heavy toll of that load. The Bell Chair, we ran a total of 4 hours last year on 2 different days.
Closing day.
Closing day, and we ran it actually for our late ski event that we stayed open for sunset skiing. Both of which, highly participated. I will go back 3 years. The Silver Queen gondola was down because of a mechanical. It spread into the next day. We happened to get it fixed over the night because we have a phenomenal maintenance team. We decided to still run Bell Chair the next day. At 1 o'clock, I rode up with our former senior vice president, skiing Katie Ertl, and it was 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and Katie and I were riders 7 and 8. So, and there's a ton of nostalgic I'm lucky enough to say that I've moved here the year before the gondola was built, so I've skied it the old way, and I do believe that this kind of brings back some of that nostalgia of getting to the top of Bell and getting, that front side skiing and kind of revitalizing Bell Mountain to the skier to a certain degree. And I don't know, am I allowed to say it, Mac? Sidebar, I think the Buck-Off is well known in our community on closing day. As mountain manager, as long as I'm there, I would be committed absolutely to slowing that lift speed down and running it slow like we used to, so you can enjoy the Buck-Off. I think
for the nostalgia buffs.
Yeah, and that might not be the value of the 9-minute ride. It might be the value of the 20-minute ride to enjoy our community. So
that's funny.
So my question was about skiing Bell, because it was always sort of a special, uncrowded run, and now won't be that. It seems like it's going to have a lot more skiers on it.
I don't know on that one, especially with the development that was Heroes or Pandora's. We saw a lot of that traffic actually leave Bell Mountain the last couple years, where Bell Mountain used to, I mean, when I was a kid, it had the big Walsh's shoulder-sized bumps on it, and Ridge of Bell's not bumping out anymore.
Oh, really?
Like, the skier traffic dropped pretty substantially there, and Bell Mountain has a large breadth about it that you can ski a lot of different aspects, that I think it spreads people out. And then it also, I think, will revitalize the dumps to a certain degree, that Heroes kind of stole some of that thunder for a little bit. And
So coming down the Bell and then continually going right, so you have the run that goes on forever, is probably going to be a little more popular now, I would think.
yeah.
Okay, that was one question, was just, that sort of privacy that Bell Mountain had before, even though it was under a lift. But and the other concern is the condensing of crowds right at the base with the gondola and the bell there, Nell Bell, is that what it's called? Are you concerned about how many people are going to be there? I mean, it's going to move more people faster, I get that, but it's going to be a lot of people right there between those two lifts, isn't it?
It's going to be an interesting traffic flow. I don't think you're going to see an escalation of skier numbers, because the four mountains have traditionally split about the same load consistently. What I do think it does, it actually alleviates the pressures at the base of getting folks up on the hill and getting them moving around the mountain, and giving another avenue that not everybody's landing at the sun deck, that you kind of spread that crowd across the mountain a little bit better.
Yeah, I can see that.
We have, I mean, Mac has it's going to be an interesting traffic flow, and I think we'll learn things that will probably advance from what I say in here today, but I view it as, a good amount of our traffic actually goes to the skiers right of the gondola and kind of comes back around that way. A lot less go to the left side, but I think that's going to be now a ski return for the Little Nell lift on the skiers' left side, where skiers right will access the gondola. And then the big push, like Max said, is, I mean, that line last year for that first powder day, I debated about going home at one point when it wrapped around the North of Nell building, came all the way back to the plaza, back out to Durant, and then up past the residences, to be able to move the people out of the base area.
I entered the line right about here.
Yeah. And it
took me an hour and 10 minutes. It was, but yeah.
And
it is what it is.
To expedite that process for our locals and our skiing guests to get up the mountain a little bit quicker and get out of that mess, and also to be quite honest, I have to call the Aspen Police Department every once in a while when we're interrupting traffic in downtown Aspen because of the situation.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
My turn. Yeah.
Just real quick, just the width of the Little Nell ski run is about 360 feet wide. And not to say that it won't feel more crowded, not to say that there won't be a few more people down there, but currently there's some space.
Okay, great.
I think I love so much about this. I think I have no nostalgic feelings for the Bell chair. Its time has come, and people will kick me for saying it, but I love that. The downsides are glaring. I appreciate virtually everything you've said, and I think it's a great plan, and I certainly will plan to approve it. My concerns are Little Nell does have some value as a venue for obviously these events, and there could be others, in the future. So now anybody who's going to participate in anything like that's going to have to ski Bell Mountain and spar or copper and go through Grand Junction, which is a choke point. It's the Smith Hill curve of our, the intersection of Aspen Mountain, and then get down through Kleenex Corner, which is often crowded and could be called treacherous at times with lots of people flying through there, to get to the top of Nell. I don't understand the logic of that. Honestly, I was on a hut trip with Rich Berkeley a couple weeks ago up in Banff, and I was saying, Rich, what's going on? He said, oh, it makes perfect sense. He's so on board. So he half convinced me that it's going to be okay. But I also think about your aging demographic. by the time I've got my, I'm done here and want to ski every day, if that happens, I'll be 70. And I don't want to have to ski through Grand Junction. If I want to go take laps on Little Nell, that's no longer an option. So I guess I can ride the gondola to the top. So what you've got are all the senior levels or the little kids or the lower level skiers who might be a little trepidatious about skiing through Grand Junction and all that are going to have to just get to the top of the mountain as they do now. It surprises me that people don't ski Nell more often. I love to go out and take a few laps on it while I'm waiting for somebody. So it just seems like we're losing an opportunity and an option, and it's an event venue right there in the at the heart of our town. So my request or my question is, why can't you guys include an opportunity to get off at the top of Nell, or maybe even at the top of Bingo or somewhere in there? There's no way you could put a mid station in that. Is that why was that eliminated?
So,
and honestly, that's my only concern.
yeah.
I love everything about this. Other than that,
a mid station takes about 160 feet long of flat area with some ins and outs going into it. We discussed that ability, and on this alignment, it's very difficult to find 160-foot flat space plus another 80 feet on each side to tie into grade anywhere along this.
we used to just jump off at the low spots.
Yeah, no, right? It's like, let me go to Google Earth here.
And that's
Yeah.
true.
Just make it 6 feet off
For
the
just
deck
an
and it'll be
unloading situation.
Yeah, that's true for an unloading situation because it's essentially two terminals back to back on each other. First terminal slows you down.
You wouldn't load on it, you'd just unload.
Yeah, you would just, in fact, you can only do one or the other.
Right.
So like Buttermilk West has a load. We've got, there's plenty of options of examples of unload out there, and
Well, Little Nell had the unload, the original unload, right?
Yeah.
So there is some nostalgia. I grew up skiing on that,
Yeah, Aspen Mountain's just a really steep hill.
Yeah.
And,
So I'm just
and along that alignment, if you wanted to do something on Little Nell, I mean, I think you can visualize this, Greg, about how steep.
You're high off the ground there already.
Yeah, if you wanted to do something, it'd have to be about right here, and that is a fair.
Almost,
You see this because of the switchback of the road. You see how steep that already is, and then you'd be talking about a major earth moving project, which would then stick a terminal about 80 feet up in the air, that kind of thing. So it's not a very advantageous.
Thanks for thinking about it. I know you guys have the right plan. I'll be interested in skiing it. No more laps on Nell. Thinking, what's Klaus going to do if he wants to come ski Aspen Mountain? He's going to ride all the way to the top, right?
Yep.
I
Okay.
do.
Thanks.
Are you done?
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
done.
wanna
I'm
cut you
done,
off.
but I'm enthusiastic.
No, I do, and I do appreciate about this expression of support for some of the uses that rely on Little Nell. I will say we don't have any of that captured in our resolution, so I'm not sure if this is the first time this is coming up, unless I missed it. But there's no commitment. There's no commitment that we're holding you to for this in our resolution, and so I don't know if that's been discussed already, or if there's an opportunity to formalize that in some way or another.
I mean, all of our verbal representations are captured, right?
It does say that, but nobody would know what that is looking at the resolution. That's all. And I don't know if it's like, if all of these events all go by the wayside at some point, then there's no support required, I guess. But
I mean,
I'm trying to figure out how we thread that.
We've supported these events for decades. At this point in time, many of them on the list right here. The tricky thing about a special event is that the event organizers may stop doing it, and then we can't
Right.
carry the torch and be responsible for conducting winter school or whatever it is. But as long as they're here, I mean, you heard Travis loud and clear. The ski company fully supports these events. We fully support if there are, if there's other events that make sense from a community standpoint. And we'll continue to partner with the community on these types of things. We appreciate the vitality that they offer. We appreciate, frankly, the heads in beds on those down weekends. I mean, which is why Winter School got moved, which is why Gay Ski Week was put where it is in the first place. So we have a vested interest in the success of these events. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only the only thing that I see here that I might pull out just as far as like a stated commitment, a lot of this is intent and kind of factual observation, but relative to the event support, I might just suggest we add something in that statement, in our
And we already provide.
number 18, where he says all representations will be adhered to, and then perhaps including, this commitment for provision of event support or something like that.
We already provide a chunk of that support. We do run snowmobiles for a lot of the ski races just to get transport, whether it's workers up to start setting fences. And for the Gay Ski Week event, there are some participants that can't even ski from the top of Nell that we actually give toboggan rides from the top all the way back down there to get them to the venue. So we will find a way. They're important enough to us to find a way to make them happen.
Leslie.
What if I added a finding versus a condition of approval, a finding that the ski company fully supports and is committed to community events that use Little Nell Ski Run for showcase or races or community events that utilize Little Nell Ski Run in a public fashion?
I'd love to see that.
As a finding, and
That sounds fine.
It's an easy no-brainer. Can I say,
Please.
I was just reflecting back, the torchlight descent's been going on since 1949, probably, or 50, or sometime in there, or maybe it was the first FIS. I started doing the torchlight descent as soon as I could. Of course, it's like eighth grade outdoor dad in Aspen. It's like a rite of passage for kids to be able to go do the torchlight. I don't know if that happens anymore. I think it might all be ski pros now, right?
No, actually,
You can still do it?
last year we made a shift with the attendees and actually had Aspen Valley Ski Club and partnered with them. And it was Ski Club that ran the torchlight, which I thought is like winter school moving and getting back a little bit into that local time period of quietness. It was a good way to represent the commitment of, to our local athletes. And it was even getting talked about that Hannah and Alex were going to lead it last year, which would have been the coolest thing in the world for those kids.
Yeah, cool. Well, of course, I love it for kids who aren't ski club but might still be skiers. It certainly still is an incredible thing to do growing up in Aspen.
Yeah.
And my guess is kids will probably love the idea of being able to start at top of Bell.
Yeah.
But however practical that is, I just hate to see that go away. And that kind of was what Nell was, honestly. That sort of thing. So
And
it's important.
Travis said it. That's something that we've talked about internally. We've figured out how we could get people from either Top of Bell or over at Ruthie's restaurant over. And so we've got a strategy on how to keep that alive and keep that tradition going.
Great, wonderful. I'm enthusiastic then. Thanks for answering those questions. These are sensitive topics here.
Absolutely.
I'm like, if they're all little kids, just make them walk,
Make them walk up. I would be in favor of that.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm a stickler, Mac. You guys are new to this.
Gotta make sure kids get it.
All right, keep going.
All right. So, thank you. We have some. We do have some other images of kind of top terminal area that we have lift shack layouts. If we have lift shack elevation and bottom terminal layout, and I can go and kind of. This is the same type of finish that we have up at Heroes on all the lift shacks there, and I'm happy to dig into that if that's something that interests the board, or I'm happy to move on to.
Is that just like an anodized corrugated or something you don't have to
Exactly.
last forever?
Yep.
Yeah.
Enamel baked corrugated,
Great.
essentially. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see the layout, I think, of the lift, the bottom terminal.
Lift bottom. Yep. So here is an image that shows what the base currently looks like. There's essentially a tower and a bull wheel out here in front of the residences at Little Nell. Now, you can see in the plan view here that same bull wheel, and the lift goes uphill, lower, like kind of down and right, and it's roughly 28 feet off of the edge of the residence's, upmost tower, if you will. Okay. So what we're talking about here, so center a bull wheel to center a bull wheel, and we are at, like I said, we're pretty close to parallel to the Silver Queen. So the Silver Queen is up here. You see exactly how that goes, and the proposed alignment for Nell Bell goes roughly parallel with the Queen. So the further uphill you go, the further away from the residence's structure you are. So we're roughly 53 feet, which is about 25 feet more at the closest spot, and obviously that amount increases as you go. So where you're about the same height off the ground when you're sitting in the new chair versus the existing chair. And so essentially any view that a guest may have towards the windows of the residences is about the same height, but about 25 to 40 feet further away.
Question.
Yep.
Just regarding the space then, how wide is the space, the skiable area between the gondola building and the lift gates? It's not super wide already.
It's not
So
super
where
wide
will
already.
people slow down and stop, and how do you will they be controlling speed and stopping on the grade, on the steeper grade?
Not on the steeper grade. It's still flat from roughly this blue here that you see, Greg, is the part of the plaza that is not snow melted. That snow gets pushed over.
Okay. Sure.
And
we ski to the end of that.
You ski all the way to the end of this. This is where you take off your skis and walk
Okay.
around. So this is roughly 25 feet wide at this location.
So that's that space.
Yeah, so you would
come
be able
in
to ski, and it gets flat right at about the end of the existing Silver Queen terminal. So this whole area is pretty darn flat.
And then how wide does it go over? How far over toward the new piece? I'm not sure what I'm looking at in terms of equipment and hardware there. Where's the actual skiable area between the lift and the gondola building?
The skiable area, let me draw here. Give me a second. The skiable area is basically everything in there. And
That's
of course
your 25 feet.
Yeah, that's your 25 feet. It goes a little wider, like so.
Copy that. Okay.
Okay. And that's
Beautiful.
your.
It's a safety issue for you guys. So,
Yep.
if you're comfortable with that.
Oops. Sorry.
And then race course space, for the event when it does happen. How does that all going to fit, or does that end high above that?
It fits, probably takes away about you'd have to draw it out, Mac, from hall rope to hall rope at the P3 tube.
Yeah.
Takes away.
So that's this guy right here.
No, I would say the
P3, you're saying over here.
No, P3, like, so your bowl wheel, P2. Your second hold down to the haul rope.
And what does that signify?
Sorry, let's go to this. This is easier.
Yeah.
And I can pull up actually, I've got the PDF.
And I think
Sorry.
looking at it, it would be similar to Nell now, where that lift would be walk up, put on your skis and ride it. So it'd be when you're in event days, you are walking around like you would currently. Can't ski to Little Nell on an event.
Right.
Bear with me for a second. We can get very specific here. All right. So rough width of the trail. Yeah, there's that 23.33 feet on the outside of the maze. On those race days, what we can do is we can eliminate we can take the finish line to where it goes today, which is essentially in this area, Greg.
Right.
Right? So on the race days, those races will come in and eliminate the access point to the lift maze from the uphill side. So if you're doing the race, you've got the full breadth of the trail, and then you take off your skis and you basically go across the plaza and put your skis back on and get back onto the lift.
And the maze begins right where it flattens out, or just a little bit after.
Yeah, and so we have what this drawing is showing is two sides of the maze, if you will. The uphill side that you would ski down to, okay? Represented by this.
Right.
Okay, and then you also have from the plaza side, which is represented essentially by that.
Right. Got
Okay,
it.
so if a line, like let's just have if beginning of the day, we get another 27-inch day and plaza's starting to fill up, you would have, what we would do at the very beginning of the day is we would have only access from the downhill side or from the plaza side, and you would have people lining up through the plaza, going over to the main set of stairs, and we would have a gondola line and we would have a nail bell line.
Split the stairs.
Split
or
the
something.
stairs, exactly.
Copy that.
And then as the day goes on, as the line clears from the base, then we'd open up the ski end component of the maze.
What about the stairs on the north end, next to the building?
Travis and his team would manage around that. People would, if the line was too long, somebody would try to do a shortcut or whatever, and then they'd get to the top of the stairs and somebody would direct them back down and around.
Okay.
We already have to manage that on the big days.
You wouldn't run the lift line through there.
No, not right now. I think it just gets complex in that
Got
piece
it.
of
Okay.
people on the wrong line.
Thank you for explaining all that.
Yeah. Yeah, and Greg, as far as the flat, if you will, you can see the contours on this drawing.
Mm-hmm.
They get steep, 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 and yeah, right about the front of the existing Queen terminal is when it's just, there's a 2 foot, over 100 foot area. So 2%, that's nothing.
Got it. Okay. Thank you. It fits.
It fits. It's tight.
It's tight.
But it fits.
No more tucking it to the lift line, Leslie. Thank you. Thanks for the detail.
Questions or interest in seeing the diagrams of the?
Oh, yeah. Let me go back to those.
I've seen
Okay.
enough.
Do you have some questions when we're finished with presentation?
All right. Yeah, any other drawings you'd like to see? Okay.
We're not your user group for the lift shacks.
What's that?
I said, we're not your user group for the
Yeah.
lift shacks.
I can promise your employees are very excited about the lift shacks.
Great. Leslie, are there other points of discussion we need to raise? I have a few questions.
Well, I have amendments to the reso, And then Suzanne and I were just talking about also adding an condition. So we're going to add the finding related to events on Little Nell. And then Suzanne has another condition of approval that.
Related to
Suzanne.
what?
Related to.
I'll just come stand over Leslie's shoulder to get on that.
It may address one of my
Just
questions.
the
that's what
sort
I
of a
thought.
standard condition, which is that all, like the resolution 070-2019, which was the mountain master plan approval, that remains in effect. And in general, this is an amendment to that, so that's really clear. But I think what it really is important to capture is that includes conditions about the construction management plan stuff. When the use of Little Annie Road came up,
Yeah.
that was what I kind of went quick to make sure. That includes the condition that if they're going to use Little Annie for this project, they need to specify that in the construction management plan. And then there's a whole notification that they do with the neighbors
Yeah.
to make sure they're informed and aware of that. So I think just that basic reference to that all the conditions of that approval remain in effect then captures those conditions from the.
So
that-
only
that
what is
prior
amended
approval.
is amended, everything else is.
Correct.
Continues on. Thank you. That was one of my questions. We had a lot of conversation about the roads. So glad
Yes,
we
we
don't have
did.
to rehash that, but
Yep.
we'll continue to retain that valuable discussion.
Yeah,
And
we know the
then-
rules of the road, and we have no issues with what Suzanne just presented.
Thank you. And then I noticed in the resolution, I think, was there a vesting period that was blank? And I'm not sure
So
what
typical.
to think about that. It says
Typical
statutory vested rights granted herein shall expire on.
Well, it's a typical 3-year vesting. So this date locks in the
Got it.
3 years. The applicant, unlike other applications that we've done with the ski company, did not ask to extend the 3-year. So that date gets filled in when you sign
Perfect.
the resolution.
You're that confident in the NEPA process?
We're confident in the NEPA process. Like I said, we already have, we've seen some of the draft language in the environmental review on the NEPA. The biggest wild card for us at this point in time is the city approval process, but so far they understand the need and the timing, and we hope to have a successful outcome this winter.
Great.
Any further discussions before I open up the public hearing? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to open up the public hearing on the application to amend the Aspen Mountain Ski Area Master Plan, the activity envelope and site plan review for Nell Bell lift alignment and replace snowmaking line. See, Amber, is that someone on your team?
No,
Do you
she
know?
was here
Amber?
yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Observing. Yeah.
All right, I don't see any hands raised online or in the room, so we'll go ahead and close the public hearing and bring it back to the board for discussion or a motion.
I'll make a motion.
No,
Go ahead, you have some edits.
I have some edits.
Okay.
Okay, so, in your reso that was in your packet, I still had, this area, X'd out, XXX square feet. Eric, provided me the size of the hood. It's the hood terminal. I just wanted to clarify the hood that covers, because people see that number and they think it's a really tall, big number. But I wanted to add that in there.
That square footage is not correct, though.
But it's your 52 by 25 by by 25.
54, you're talking, this is square feet, so it's length times width. That's a cubic feet thing.
Oh.
So
Cubic,
let's
yeah.
just go, so you said 54?
15,000 square feet?
1,485 square feet.
Okay.
That's better.
Significantly
Thank you.
different.
Yeah.
1,485.
Nice
Sticking a new
catch.
sun deck up there, hey?
Yeah,
Would be a nice place to
almost
put
got it through.
Yeah.
3 Sundays.
Well, and we were going back and forth on numbers because they know me in numbers, and so there we go.
We'll keep each other honest.
Well, yeah. And then United States forest land, not forestry land. Let's go to
So,
forest.
Service.
Okay.
so the number's going to go back, you said 1,400 square feet? Just so we know what we're to expect
14.
on the hood. 54 times
14, what did I say a second?
47
1485?
times
Is it
40.
1485? Yeah.
About 1,400.
And forest service land. On the bottom of page 4. It said the applicant, and we're saying the application complies. Page 6. I added this in here, utilizing language from the master plan, specifically with regard to the scenic impacts. This language here is from the master plan, and I thought it was important to add in the findings what the master plan said. Specifically, there will be no significant increase in visibility as seen from the corridors. So those are my italics. Anne Marie, can I leave them as italics, or should I take them off?
I would take them off,
Okay,
but I don't, yeah, I would take them off.
okay. I just wanted it to pop out that was the important part.
You need a closing quote, though.
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
Thank
good
you.
call, Kelly.
And then I think before we get to here, the BOCC finds that it's in the best interest of the citizens. We'll do a new number 12, which will be where we put that finding in that the ski company commits to the community events on the Little Nell Ski Run. Okay?
Great.
Without listing them, just two community events on.
I was going to say such as, and kind of list what happens today. So, because that's kind of a broad example of what the ski company supports. And if we say, ski company is committed to fully supporting community events that use Little Nell ski runs such as Torchlight Parade, Ajax Cup, Gay Ski Week, World Pro Ski Tour, etc.
So does that tie you to those events forever?
It's in a finding,
such
not a
as.
condition.
It's a such as.
I think it's an example versus a
Yeah.
requirement.
Okay.
And then right here before number 1, we'll do a new number 1, and that will be Suzanne's language with regard to all conditions of approval are still in, was it resolution 70? 70/2019 are in full force and effect. So that ties into the construction management plan. Then Mac graciously pointed out to me that my resolution after condition number 4, the numbering went wonky. It went 4, 5, it went 4, 7, 8. So I've corrected that in this resolution.
You didn't want to just slip some other ones in there.
I am. And then on the last page, your old condition number 5, which is now 15, which is now condition number 13, Mac asked me to add in. I said scope of work around each tower to stake the corners and put construction fencing around each tower, which is pretty heavy duty, and he has requested that we say adjacent, each tower adjacent to a public road or trail, which is consistent with how they've done work on all their other ski areas.
Right.
And finally, what condition was that? Your condition, old condition number 10, which is now condition number 8. I, 8B, the lift chair shall also be a dark, non-reflective material. That's my recommendation. I think Mac has an issue with that.
I do. And let me share real quick.
Just thinking about reflectivity and scenic.
So we're proposing the same type of chair that we have almost everywhere else with the newer quads. And this is a galvanized chair. This is Heroes. Same type of chair. Black padding. We can scroll up and show a few different angles of it, but this is just the type of carrier and chair that we're talking about. And this is consistent with another 30 lifts that are high-speed detachable quads that we have around the 4 ski areas. So
And that material's non-reflection.
it's a galvanized steel product.
Matte
Is
finish.
it 100%
Yeah.
non-reflective? No, you can get a tiny bit of a reflection, but it's exactly what we have on Ajax chair. It's exactly what we have at Tyhack. It's exactly what we have at Exhibition. Go down the list.
And
So,
everybody else too.
every other,
A new designer chair would be like so on brand.
right? Yeah, black matte finish.
I
No.
was kind of thinking.
I'm thinking
that.
heated seats.
Leslie's trying to push us to the next level.
I'm just pushing
Yeah.
that.
Self-cleaning, so you don't sit down in a pool of snow or water if they don't manage to shovel it, sweep it off. Do they flip up so they don't get snow and ice on them? And,
They do. Yeah, the benches can flip up. But, so
I'm fine to amend that.
in the Dolomites, they're using heated chair lifts.
Yeah,
Just want you to
you
know
can just
that.
take it out, right?
With espresso machines.
Mac is proposing eliminating the word dark under your 8B. Or
Could just
10B.
take it out though, couldn't you? Wouldn't that be
No.
easier? I mean, do we need that sentence in there at all?
I think non-reflective material is okay to keep.
If what we have now qualifies.
yeah, that's the condition there that
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is
Silver, but it's matte.
I've never heard somebody like ski up to me and say, man, I just got blinded by the reflection off that chair. So as long as we can all agree that that's,
Well, yeah, I mean, in
Yeah.
50 years of skiing, I've never seen reflection off a chairlift.
From down valley, I actually enjoy seeing the sunlight reflecting off the gondola because it looks like diamonds. Leslie's scowling at me now.
It's not consistent with our code.
Thank you.
Did we conclude
those all your
similar
changes?
language in our?
I have no
Or
other
Pandora's?
proposed changes. So,
Adam? Okay.
thanks. Leslie.
Free hot chocolate at the top. That's a
Bottom's a little easier with water source, but
Can you ride down this chair?
So we
Get an old
have.
Greg.
No, it's a great question. We are going to be asking for, for the lift to be designed at a 25% download capacity. And the reason for that is so that if the Silver Queen goes out and there is an event up at the sun deck, currently everybody has to get snowcatted all the way to the bottom, and that takes a very, very long time. So what you could do here is you could snowcat to the top of the Nell Bell lift, and then you download on the Nell Bell. So it would be for emergency purposes only.
Oh, I do have another question.
Yes, Francie.
Will it be operational in the summer?
No,
Okay, just the gondola.
correct.
Can I, this isn't too far, it's a little tangential, but the original ore car that ran along that similar alignment, I understand had a generator on it. So when they could actually generate power when they were downloading ore. You've got the opposite situation where you're taking weight up generally. But it always makes me think that, wouldn't it be great if you could use regenerative braking and generate power when the opportunity arose?
This Silver Queen does that currently.
Cool.
That's really
You should
cool.
brag about that.
And there's no monitoring of how much it produces because was such new technology back then that it's not even like readable on we don't have the right Holy Cross attachment for that. But yes, it does do that. So when you have Bluegrass Sundays and everybody's up there and they come down and it starts that
You're
regen
generating,
process.
you're selling power back.
Yeah, we're giving it to the grid. So
Okay.
So can I make a motion?
Let's make sure we have no more questions. That'd be good.
She can make the motion.
Greg could talk about Aspen Mountain all afternoon.
I'd like to get out of here before
If we get out of here, you actually have time to go stroll up it.
I'm gonna ride
if you
my
wish.
bicycle home.
Well, I will make a motion to grant approval to Aspen Ski Company LLC for an amendment to the Aspen Mountain Ski Area Ski Rec Master Plan and Activity Envelope and Site Plan Review for the Nell Bell Lift Alignment and replace snowmaking line with the corrections that Leslie has made and the additions that she has made in the resolution.
I'll second that.
No further discussion. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Now the work
Thought I'd make
begins.
the resolution, a little bit of atonement.
Remember, you don't do this because it's easy. You do it because you thought it would be easy. Right?
We enjoy
Well,
this. This is our
comparatively, this was
passion,
easy.
Greg.
This was
Yeah.
easy.
This is our passion. I am so excited. Thank you so much,
And
everybody.
thank you to
Yeah.
staff for bringing this to us.
Thanks for coming in. Thanks for your entertaining us with all this. I can't wait.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be fun.
Are you gonna sell the old chairs?
We are going to do the same thing we've done over the last few years, as far as auction, and all the proceeds from the auctions go to local charities.
Great.
we won't find a center pole very often anymore for sale.
No,
That's right.
No, these will probably fetch a little higher dollar than. So the local charities should be even happier than they have been. They've been very grateful in the past.
Cool. Thanks. Enjoy the end of summer here.
Thanks, Leslie. Great to see you.
Long time.
I did text Patty just to see if she was still on campus. I haven't heard back, but we can resume our
We just got to
Open discussion.
open discussion.
Silver Queen Gondola Storage Building. Yeah, that's how we got our unbound employee housing, 37,000 square feet. It's a great complex.
Rave parties.
Rave parties, warehouse rave parties.
Yeah, yeah.
Alrighty. John, do you have open discussion for us? I think we could do the transportation, should we save that when we have a fuller board? I know I would benefit, but if we
We
can
could save
wait.
it for a full board. There was really no urgency.
Okay,
It
great.
was interesting. It was
I have notes on it,
informative.
and I'll wait.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Only thing I would remind the board of is I think Amy had emailed recipients for the Pickens County Cares for y'all to look at and think about which awards you may want to hand out. And
Yes, I
so
wanna
you
do
can
Sandy's.
coordinate. Oh, don't
Oh, you
say
do?
that.
I
I
do.
was going to.
Oh, you were?
We're not
Oh, we
saying the
don't say who
names
they are.
though.
Oh, sorry.
It was already in the paper. Yes, we can pass this list around. I'm not sure what these highlights mean on it.
Those patties.
Patty wrote her name by a few already, but that's okay. Thank you. We will be sure to handle that.
And that's all I really have for you.
John, I don't have anything that I can think of presently, which is fine. Regarding travel, airport visit travel,
Yeah, I'd like to visit with you a little bit about
offline.
that. But
Okay, it doesn't have to be. I was just wondering if there's something you had to tell us that we. But no.
I've been catching folks individually. I mean, basically, there was a question about going in the winter.
Right.
Yeah.
To the winter places.
Yeah.
if they'll extend a ski pass. I want to see the airport from the top of the mountain.
We'll see what we can do for you, Greg.
Okay, great, thanks.
Yes.
I have some.
Yeah.
So in the New York Times this morning, there was an article that was begun on the front page, and when you clicked on it, you opened up to a picture of Thompson Divide, because it was associated with a story that about Trump trying to rescind the
Rodents.
public lands decisions of Biden. And so our public land, so in the article it talked about our public lands are 245 million acres. It's a tenth of our country. And the Trump administration wants to prioritize, according to this article, oil and gas drilling, coal mining, timber, and livestock grazing, opposed to Biden's priorities, which were conservation, recreation, and renewable energy. So, and what's his name? I think it was Bergam or whatever his name is, said that AI is a more pressing concern than global warming, so we need to be producing more energy to support AI. It's a very disturbing article, particularly when you see Thompson Divide right there.
Yep, I see
And
it.
how the New York Times decided that Thompson Divide should be a picture for this article is equally disturbing. So anyway, I suggest you find that and read it because it is very pertinent to us. Also, I just wanted to catch you up on some things that I learned from Matt Yamashita, and I'll be short because it was a long meeting. Matt is a great talker. He did talk about how the preponderance of our elk depredations are perpetrated by mountain lions, and bears will hunt the calves only in the spring and fall. And that this year there is a large amount of food for the bears, and so hopefully there won't be too many bear depredations on livestock or elk calves. But I thought that was interesting. He gave me an update, Greg, on aquatic species. And he did say that there are larvae from the zebra mussels in the Colorado River, but not mature mussels, and that it's very hard for them to adhere to any surface in order to live out their full life cycle in a river as compared to a lake, because they're moving all the time and they can't grab on. And he also talked about the New Zealand snail being in, if I got it right, I think the Eagle River, and that they are also an invasive species and a problem that we don't hear about as much as the zebra mussels, but they're very aware of it. He said probably the majority of the time of the agents right now is with aquatic species, more than with wolves, which is a relief.
Who would have ever thought?
Yeah, I know.
Did he mention the source of the mussels they found in the Colorado River was a private reservoir somewhere in the Eagle Valley?
I believe that's true, yes. And he did talk about how they used to only focus on motorboats because they were more likely to have water stay to maintain water in order to support the larvae of the aquatic species, but now they have to check everything, SUPs and kayaks and everything. And we talked about the mechanisms for cleaning your boat and stuff.
There's a question then at Rudai.
Yeah, they have the only decontamination center around here at all. So if you've been in, like when we were in Sand Point with my son's boat, the only place for him to decontaminate back in Colorado was at Rudai. So, and I also found out that you need a special kind of propeller at Rudai in order to maintain the speed of your boat, that because of the high altitude and the less oxygen your engine's taking in, which was pretty interesting, I thought.
Well, the sailboats, for instance, don't have to go through that entry port, and kayaks and paddleboards don't have to go through the gate where they're checked. So that's something that has to be adjusted.
Yeah.
As I understand it.
That's interesting.
And then the other thing was Oh, I was just going to tell you that I went to the Jenna Griswold event in Carbondale, and she's a very powerful woman, and she presents herself quite strongly. If you get a chance to go hear her, it's worth it.
She spoke at the Democratic Party dinner. And I talked with her briefly there.
Yeah. And she asked me, she said, please get in touch with me, particularly if she gets elected, if there's anything we need. And I said that as we pursue our rezoning of our public lands, that there may come a time where we get challenged, and having help from the Attorney General would be great. She said she's totally on board. So, yeah.
I may have to step out. I'm waiting for a call from Northwest Cog, trying to put out fires there again.
We're all gonna step out.
Do you have any open discussion then?
I got mine done, I think, yesterday.
Okay. We decided to hold on the Transportation Coalition update till we have a full board.
You want me to check boxes on that name list?
Yes, we can, if you want. Hang on.
I need to see who I marked off so I can pull those.
I had two things. I'm curious, I'd love to hear a little update from public health about the COVID vaccine situation and how that is evolving in Colorado and our area. Because it seems like it's a little bit of like, do whatever you want. So I'm curious what that is, or if there's additional guidance coming out from public health, our public health department about that, or chatter among the physicians about that.
And there's measles in Grand Junction, I heard.
Did you forget?
What's that?
I heard there was measles in Grand Junction.
Probably with your bike laying down on the ground over there where I saw you.
And then, John, I wasn't sure if you wanted to report out at all about your conversation with CDOT.
I can. We had a follow-up conversation about the Brush Creek Park and Ride. It was, pursuant to, reaching an agreement around studying housing at the site. Mm-hmm. The conversation was, I think, pretty positive, actually, in terms of aligning with our comprehensive plan, future transportation plans, and those sorts of things, and eliminating some of the language that would have the property reverting back to CDOT if anything was developed on the property. And so at the staff level, we're going to see if we can reach agreement on language to propose back to this body and the Transportation Commission. If not, the transfer of the property is complete to the county. This is really an opportunity for us to try and continue good partnership and such with CDOT. And Director Liu had indicated that she was planning a trip up to the valley and, could potentially meet with some representatives from the board to further talk about housing. She was supposed to...
In general or at Brush Creek?
I think a little bit of both. Uh-huh. I think our interest would be to probably talk in general about it. And I think CDOT's interest is to talk about it. Yeah. I made clear what our interest would be. So.
Can I ask?
Mm-hmm, go ahead.
Is there any assistance we might want in the future from CDOT with the airport?
Yes. And in fact, we have a meeting. We're trying to figure it out this morning. I need to check in with Ryan, but it's towards the end of September, the 29th or 30th. With both our ADO from the FAA as well as CDOT Aeronautics Division. Now that we have our environmental approval, we can move forward really in earnest on capital improvement planning with both entities, which includes funding. So CDOT Aeronautics is part of that funding plan, much smaller percentage and amounts, obviously, than the FAA, but something. And so, yeah, we're still looking for cooperation from CDOT for funding the project. And we probably look for support as we apply for particularly discretionary federal grants. And so that relationship, as it has always been, continues to be important.
Keep me in that loop, that'd be great. Greg?
Just regarding CDOT and Brush Creek, per our discussion yesterday regarding the concerns about possible wildlife overpass, legality, title issues, or, regarding the transfer of the title or what their conditions were, has that been broached with them?
Not at all. Really, the conversation was brought up by CDOT around housing. We have not talked about overpasses or underpasses, and it puts us in this weird space because if we're defining it one way for the purposes of CDOT, it may not be consistent with open space, but if we're defining it a certain way for open space, it is probably not consistent with the transit and transportation components, and so it just wasn't. It's an unintended. It just wasn't even considered when this transfer was taking place, and that hasn't been the subject of any conversation yet.
I'm hoping that we can make an inquiry with them just to find out, how complicated would that be if something needs to be addressed somewhere down the road. It occurs to me the elk don't give a damn either way, but
probably they're happily not reading those things. Yeah.
My hope for part of the conversation, as I've mentioned to all of you, is to have some ear in the governor's office relative to how we approach smart growth strategies. And I'd like for some of the conversation to not only be like, this is how we approach housing, this is how we've achieved housing, this is how we think we're a leader in housing, but also we have done it while looking at all of our water resources, looking at all of our wildlife resources, looking at, protecting 10,000 plus acres of open space of our own land, not even considering federal lands. Like, I'd like for that to be some of the conversation with them, because they're just going to continue, I think, sort of pushing on these land use strategies and regional planning strategies, which, like, I'm not against on their face, but I think that you don't have to pin goals against each other. And I think our message should be like, you can actually achieve a lot, in balance, and this is what some strategies for what that can look like.
I would
is a
support
bit of what I would like.
I would support a letter from the chair to that effect, or from the board. We have been doing this a lot longer than they've been thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, we haven't talked about it. I'd love to be at that meeting. I'd love to actually give a formal presentation, like, to her, a bit of like, this is what we do. These are the overlays that we look at. These are the things we've achieved. This is where Brush Creek fits into multiple strategies, personally.
It might.
29th and 30th, we are booked.
Well, for
Got me
Shoshana,
day,
she had indicated either.
As a board.
So two things. The conversation with FAA and CDOT right now is staff level. It's kind of a regular meeting. It's just accelerating. I think the conversation we're talking about now is if we're able to get some of Shoshana's time, which sounds like it'd either be on the 22nd or 25th, but neither of those dates are confirmed. My recommendation for more...
The 22nd, first you said the
29th
and 30th.
No, so just to be clear, what I meant to say was the 29th and 30th is a meeting with FAA and CDOT Aeronautics Division. The 22nd and 25th are the two dates Shoshana thought she may be up here. Yeah, so sorry if I was conflating a lot of dates and things in there. So
You did a good job.
yeah, But, and those dates aren't confirmed, so that's not a definite. My recommendation, if this board wants to have a more candid conversation about those things, would be to select 1 or 2 board members to represent that and have a more private conversation. As in the fishbowl, it's more difficult to do that.
I just want to say I would love it if she comes to visit, and I'd certainly support that. I've been inviting her for at least 2 years to come hang out with us, give us, come visit us and look around. So I think it would be great. Whomever on our board talks to her, I think that would be great.
I know.
I'd like to, and I know Jeffrey may want to, but I do wonder if strategically it helps to have someone you guys are very deeply involved in transportation, representing the board on transportation issues. It might make more sense for either one of you to join
Either way.
me, as I can be the one to get to.
We can decide as it gets closer. I'm okay with either.
Okay,
Yep.
great. Cool.
I
Does that
think you
work,
should
John?
definitely talk to her about housing.
Okay.
Transportation oriented.
All right, that is all I had on my
We need a motion.
open discussion. Just want to make sure nobody else had anything else. All right, with that, can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Francie. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All right, great meeting, everyone. Thank you.
Very nice
Thank
to have you,
Grass-
Marie.
Thank you. Thank you for no weird questions.